Ah, okay. All right. Sorry about that. I messed up the starting procedure as expected. I have to go live in OBS Studio and through the YouTube app apparently, and I'd only gone live through OBS. So I was patiently waiting for the chat until Pratius suggested I'd gone for some liquid courage. I do have something to drink, but it's a sugar coke, so nothing fancy. Also, if the music is too quiet or too loud, please let me know. I've done a test stream, like a private one, but I don't really have like a reference point on what's too loud or too quiet. It's a lot easier just doing the videos, because I get to listen to it about 5 times over before I render it. It's perfect. Okay, that's good. Okay, so I'm gonna try and get accustomed to having a live chat to react to, which is a little daunting, but also pretty awesome. It allows for a different level of interaction. And thank you for the kind words, Lady War Machine. Also, any name mentions that I do from the chat, I'm gonna butcher half of them. I'm so sorry. Rest assured, I'm used to it. People butcher my name all the time. I have 4 names, in fact, and it's a complete mess. So imagine me going through US Customs and the person could barely pronounce my name. I'll try to turn up the music a little bit. It's super tricky for me to actually judge. Hello, Hastur, good to see you. If there is music, I don't hear it. Oh, yeah. I've got some technical issues already, I feel. Yukon, thank you so much for becoming a member. I really appreciate that. Oh, come on, Hastur. 5 gifted memberships. I've not even provided any content yet. I'm blushing here. Thank you so much. Yukon Admiral is our resident emergency services expert, so I feel bad whenever I cut into my services budgets. Okay, I promised myself one thing, so just a little disclaimer. The last time I streamed was exactly 3 years ago, just about. It was early August 2022. And that went all right. It was how I basically got back into YouTubing. But yeah, technical difficulties. There are probably gonna be a theme here and any other oddities, but I hope you can see the actual stream overlay. I'm just flashing it now. Does it work? I know it's hard to believe, but I made that myself in Paint. Anniversary stream, yeah. Technically, yes. All right, I'll try to disable. Oh no, wait. I forgot. I got another overlay. If you guys want to see it, check out this one. I'm especially proud of the "Be Right Back" thingy. Paint sounds about right. All right, I did promise myself one thing, and that's that I want to try and actually build something. Because from the few times I have streamed in the past, I haven't managed to really build all that much, so I'm gonna just jump in game. And I was considering starting like an entirely new city just for streaming purposes, because we could do super frequent votes and just let all you guys kind of take the city in whatever direction you want. But I think as far as the first stream goes, it's probably a safer bet to just grab something I know works, which is East Haven County. And I don't really have crash issues in City Skylines 2, not anymore. And I'd love to tell you guys why, but I can't. I don't know. I spent an afternoon tweaking things and it suddenly worked, and I have not dared undoing any of my changes. I'm gonna pause the game though, because I'm bleeding money, but you guys already know that. Don't blow all the budgets on overlays. I'm gonna find that overlay again. That's my monthly wage right there, blinking. Max asks about Riverview. I get plenty of questions about that city, and I don't have like a definitive answer. I think the save game still works, but the only reason I haven't played it is that I just haven't. I don't want to. I guess it's like the straight answer. I think if there is one thing that I've really had to learn the hard way through all these years and 350 videos, it's that I kind of have to want to play it and do it. Otherwise, it's gonna be like a forced effort, and I think you can kind of feel it through the video. I don't know. I feel it personally, at least. So that's why I can be a little tunnel vision sometimes. I also have a Californian themed city you guys might know about. You probably do, but I've just kind of not done any work on it since May. But that's the tunnel vision at play, and just trying to do what I really enjoy. Oh my goodness, we've got a... Phil, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Also, the point I was just making before I realized Phil was here, the point about doing, playing something I actually enjoy. I think Phil helped me also realize that through some chats with him, so awesome. Anyways, I should get building, and once again, any changes we need to do to the volume, or I can't change my voice. That's just I was born with this, and there's no medicine for what I have. But I can change the music volume. I can technically change the music as well, but I don't have a proper setup yet, so I'm just kind of auto playing what I use for the videos. But I was considering doing a bit of industry today, because that is the type of demand we do have. And while we do have plenty of residential demand, we have plenty of unemployment as well, which might be a bit of an issue. But we could do a vote on where to actually build the industry, because I've got two spots that I think might be interesting. So one would be up here by Mersey. We've got Oceanside, which is just south of the downtown core of the city. And this area needs just a bit of love. Kind of rush through this a little bit just to get the job count in place and a few signature buildings. And I think the other location, I gotta find it now, was over here by Cooper Croft. Yeah, it's not a great name, but I think this is going to be industry as well. You could fix the problem with the pollution in it. What pollution? This? This is nothing but a scratch. Yeah, I don't imagine land value is gonna be great here. I think I'm not gonna do anything with this right now, because I'm getting a ton of cool comments on the video from this Friday on what we're actually gonna do here, and quite a few people want me to remove or completely relocate the oil refinery, and I'm just not gonna do that. I'm gonna have to pay for this mistake. Also, I'm scared of moving this would move it. You know, that's gonna be pushing it in terms of game crashes and whatnot. So I think most people want us to develop Oceanside a bit more than what we've currently got up here, which makes a lot of sense. It is a little barren. We could do like an actual harbor facility here, allowing for some shipping, so that the Mersey, Massachusetts paper company can actually export some goods directly through that way. Currently, they would have to load up the trucks, move underneath the tunnel here, and then export through the cargo harbors here at the Fort John port. So that might be one way. David likes the comments on the video about turning the polluted pipes into a nature reserve or golf course. I've kind of considered that one. I think that would be like an obvious direction to take it, because it can't stay residential anymore. I don't actually know how bad this is and whether the game is going to, like, if people are going to literally move out. But this overlay makes it look pretty bad, at least. Like, this looks like a heat wave on the news. But I'm glad I enabled a policy to stop it, because I did run the save game at one time, just letting the simulation run. And if I didn't enable the what's it called, the advanced pollution management policy, then all of Chester would be hit as well. So at least the policy actually works. Which I know we should assume it does, but it's City Skylines 2, so you can call that area Cancer Central. Oh, that's absolutely ruthless. Good morning to you, QC, and thank you so much for the donation. Thank you. It's late afternoon here. I should have done the cliche streamer thing and ask you guys where you're all from. Would have been a good start, I think, to kind of break the ice, but I guess, you know, Cancer Central breaks the ice as well. Tuna asks how that mistake could actually be fixed. I think, so I was a little sad to realize that like tree coverage doesn't stop or like alleviate pollution, air pollution, or maybe like slow down the spread of it. But apparently hillsides or mountains might actually slow down the spread. So I guess like a gamey solution would be to just demolish like a stretch of land here, like evict all these people. It's unlivable by now anyways. And then just build like a ridge of some sort moving through here. But that's kind of, I think I'd rather just soak up the mess up I've done and kind of pay the price for that. And I guess, you know, it's a good chance of actually doing something cool here instead. It's slightly cookie cutter, this entire area anyways. All right, we're gonna go through some locations now. We've got India, Orlando, Florida, Lithuania, Andorra, UK, Indonesia, France, Barcelona, Dallas, Texas, Belgium, Germany, Turkey, France, UK, Belgium, Finland, Buenos Aires, Argentina, Munich, North Carolina, Switzerland. Oh, it's such a diverse crowd. Maryland, USA. Hungary, South Africa, Slovakia, Slovenia. We've been through most of Europe now. Chicago, Illinois, Austria, Thailand, Australia, Romania, Cleveland, Norway, Sweden, Bulgaria, Hong Kong. Where is... Oh, we've got Canada as well. Washington, D.C. We're from pretty much everywhere. Yeah, I guess that kind of... I'm telling you, double down, put a nuclear power plant with your refinery. That's a great... I might just do that. I might just do that. Don't tempt me. We've got Greece as well. I am going to Greece in 3 weeks' time, I think. Beautiful, beautiful country. Thank you so much for the kind words, Andrew, and the donation as well. I really do appreciate that. Guys, I've not placed any buildings yet. I haven't actually proven I can play this game. I could have just grabbed the save. So I really do appreciate the donations and memberships. Okay, we'll build some stuff. So I want to do away with the slightly rough terrain here and build like an export facility as well, so that the paper company can just load their stuff onto ships and sail that into, wait, this is westward, so sail that eastwards out into the Atlantic Ocean. So let's start doing just a tiny bit of terraforming. And I like to just terraform a bunch, and then I'll just place down all the keys or harbor structures I need, and I'll just adjust the terrain afterwards. It's a ton easier than trying to build out into the water. It's not the best way of explaining that. It should make more sense in a minute. So let's just make sure we've got a main road moving through here as well. I like to use this very wide alley because I have the idea that it accompanies truck traffic a little better. I'm not a trucker, so I wouldn't know. But I just like to utilize roads for industrial areas that don't have sidewalks, because that's at least a common theme many places throughout the world. And we'll just connect this up. And then let's utilize this new key we got with a recent patch. And just create, we'll just need an easy loading area for the ships, and probably not too close to the waterway we've got here to avoid any collisions. So maybe angle towards this small peninsula could be kind of fun. And I'm just gonna branch out from the existing road, because then I have the 90-degree snappings enabled. It's not that I might not need this segment at all. It's basically just so I make sure that it's all aligned. And let's just add a bit of an angle to this just to make it a little more interesting. And then I'll branch out from the road again just to make sure I can go 90-degree angles here. And we'll just do something like this. And I don't need this, of course. All right. So the docks here are just slightly angled and extended a bit further outwards when this was built, just to accommodate like an easier passage or docking approach for ships, I guess. We're just gonna key this all up. And do the terraforming, of course. Oh man, though. Yeah, it's kind of deep here. Which really isn't necessary. Just gonna do it roughly at first. I find it's just easier to do the rough approach first, and then just lower the brush size, move in onto the actual terrain, and just make sure that's all aligned perfectly fine. I think the music just stopped, which is another technical mistake I've made then. I don't have autoplay on. I'm learning things today. And I don't think... So the transition here isn't actually visible, but I don't know, I've got a bit of OCD, so I just like to kind of smoothen it out a little bit. But it isn't strictly necessary. Yeah, so if I was recording a video now, I would probably do this very same mistake, but I just edit that out, you know? you'd never see it. So just keep that in mind if you see me building something and it turns out really great. It doesn't necessarily always turn out perfect, but I don't have to showcase everything, even though I do show most mistakes. So I've now got like a small lake here, which I can probably just terraform my way around it, but oh. I should screen cap this and put that as the thumbnail of the stream. That's gonna draw people in, I'm sure. But at least you're getting your money's worth if you if you donated or became a member. There you go. Infrastructurist water solutions. Very nice. I'm gonna do a little chat checkup with this in place. Put a lighthouse on that peninsula. We could actually do that. Oh, Biffa, good to see you. Oh yeah, sing by all means, Biffa, but thank you for the reminder. I'm gonna hit play again. Wait, I should enable... Okay, there we go. So the music should run now for the next 15 minutes or so, and then I'll likely have to hit play again. War Machine, I should have my computer specs down below in the description. If not, then that's another account under technical mess-ups. But I should have. Should we do a lighthouse out here? I don't know if it's redundant, but I guess if it's in a really old lighthouse, it might make sense. It's probably not functional anymore because I mean, there's like a ton of light emission from the port areas. I think at least. We never really do night shots, so we could just see. Yeah, I mean, I think if you're missing the port, you're gonna miss the lighthouse as well. You might wreck the lighthouse instead. But we could do like an old lighthouse that's no longer in use. Maybe it's like in a bad state even, because this port is relatively new. Some of you might know the story. But the actual original port that the settlers here in East Haven built for themselves is situated here. So this is the old harbor. But you can probably see it's not really scaled for modern shipping traffic and all that. Oh, I'm just gonna reduce the simulation speed. Just like this. So they built a new port in the, I don't know, 30s, 40s, something like that. So we could have a lighthouse that actually predates that sitting out here. Because some ships might have utilized this seaway here to actually board at the old harbor when they entered from the Atlantic Ocean. Because I think this is the widest path you can take if your old masted ship came from England or something like that. I do apologize all the nerdiness, but roleplay is just a part of everything I built by this point. Oh my, there are so many comments. I'm gonna have to look at some comments and I'm gonna have to interact with you all. And I apologize that we're getting a little less done, but this is so exciting. Hello from Poland. Hello, Machi. I'm sorry if I butcher that, but I had plenty of Polish colleagues on my previous jobs. On my previous job, wonderful people to work with. Aaron Woodcraft, thank you so much for choosing to become a member. Dear Exxon asks, how do you fix unemployment? Man, I have an issue. You and me both, man. You're asking the wrong person because I don't know how to fix unemployment. I think realistically I'd take out a bunch of debt and start building highways to get people employed. But that doesn't really work in game, unfortunately. But yeah, I wish I could answer. I mean, more jobs, obviously. And then I've found that taxation in City Skylines 2 is unfortunately like it's designed as a as an ultra capitalist dream. So each time you lower taxation just a little bit, you'll see your demand skyrocket, and you'll almost always apparently earn more total money by just having super low taxes due to the extra demand than having slightly more, I don't know, adequate taxes. So I find that if I start raising taxes above like 11 or 12% in terms of commercial, industry and office, then even though I get like I get a short-term revenue boost, long-term I'm just gonna stifle all demand and make less money apparently. Yeah, there's a bit of work to be done here, I guess, with the simulation. Harris asks if I abandoned the storylines. Yeah, I did. I just found that it took a ton of time to do, and I also, yeah, it kind of changed my workflow in a negative sense. I would like spend 6 hours making an intro, and that's a bit much because then you've got the rest of the 55-minute video to make. Fix unemployment by adding another lane. Yeah. Yeah. Yukon writes, check to see if higher educated people are taking lower educated jobs, as that can cause underemployment for educated folks, which then causes unemployment for lower educated folks. I think you should all read Yukon's messages, and you're better off doing that because I sometimes pay shockingly little attention to my education system, which is super realistic with the type of city we're trying to emulate here, but it's not on purpose. It's just spontaneously realistic. Although I am very proud to actually open this tab live on stream, and then things are looking fine. I feel kind of redeemed now. Anyways, we needed a loading area for the paper company, so let's just get a ship placed for scale. And one thing I really love, and I said that in the recent video as well, so I'm repeating myself, is the addition of this new cargo ship prop, like this smaller one. Oh, it's very small compared to the... I guess we could do two then. I guess we could do two. And I think we're going to angle them towards the ocean. Wait, how do these actually work? Oh, they have the bridge at the front of the ship. That's kind of cool. All right, so they were angled correctly, and we're gonna do two. Move it, and we're just gonna elevate these to an appropriate height. Something like this. And then I'm gonna select them, and we're going to lock a transformation so that they don't change out of place if I do terraforming. Maybe the docks here are just a tiny bit too high, actually. Yeah, let's just grab all the nodes. This is, yeah, oh, come on. This is what I'd edit out as well. Me fiddling with nodes. It's not like I've sometimes spent 5 minutes wrapping the correct node. Has never happened. Alright, that looks pretty alright. Just needs a bit of additional terraforming. Man, this factory is just huge. That's something I really appreciate with the signature buildings in City Skylines 2. They didn't care about the scale. They just, yeah, I say that, but then you look at the airport. But the scale of this thing is cool, at least. What happened to the California map? Nothing. Quite literally nothing. I'm gonna jump in and do another episode soon, because I think I'm going to add an LFL team to the actual to the city of San Isabel. So we're gonna need like a proper full-sized, full-scale stadium, which is gonna be fun. When do we get a Discord? I'm not sure we're gonna get one. I don't know why, but there's a lot of time spent moderating and engaging and interacting with people on a Discord server, and I think I'd sort of feel pressured to doing that, and it's not like I wouldn't like to do that. I wouldn't do this live stream if I shunned interaction with you all. But my schedule is City Skylines 2, and then there's like some other things like briefing, eating, being a good husband to my wife, and other responsibilities, and they sometimes come second. So I'm trying to prioritize my time here because City Skylines is live. And I think a Discord might just be, I say that now, but that could change. Because I know Discord has some really cool features that I'm kind of missing out on. But I think for now, it would just be another time sink. Tokoso is asking, are you going to keep this area unpoisoned? What are you trying to say, man? I feel like that is a jab at me. I have a great track record when building industrial areas, mind you. I even plan for them to grow obscenely large by moving out all the residential stuff. It's just a little clever pre-planning, that's all. Okay, we need to think about what we should have on these. I think we should have some dedicated like storage facilities or warehouses for the finished paper products to actually kind of store here, so that they don't clutter up all the space within this asset, which I imagine is pretty much all dedicated to the manufacturing process. I don't know that, but let's just say this. So I'm hoping we can find some storage assets. And that might fit the bill. So I guess the paper would be packed up in crates of some sort and then stored in warehouses. I'm fishing here. I'm not sure they actually would, but I might do that just to get a chance to actually use some of these assets, because I don't get to use them all that much. Yeah, so I think we're going to, let's just grab another road so we can get this aligned, so that trucks can, or whatever service vehicles they use, can actually load these up with crates. And let's grab this color scheme so that it's gray and boring. And we'll probably need to turn this entire thing into a boring concrete surface as well. Oh wait, does this one cover road textures? It kind of does, but not the road wear markings. That's actually, that's super cool. So I can cover up the lane here, but it's still going to be obvious that we have some heavy truck traffic moving through. Whoops. Come on. Very nice, although I know this is a tiny thing to care about, but the turn here is a little excessive. Oh wait, we've got an actual access point here. Ah, damn it. I'm gonna move the warehouse instead, I think. Just getting these aligned. That is perfectly boring. You should try to build den gamle by like there are in Aarhus. I'd love to, but I don't think we have the assets available just yet. We do have some European themed assets, but like the really old ones where you have visible timber in the construction, they're restricted to the German region pack, and there are only a few of them, and they're all the same design. So that's a bit of a bummer. Anyways, we should maybe get some cranes in place. And this one is a little tricky because we don't really have what we need, but I think I have some stuff from Sully's Discord by Harbor Master J. We've got the base, and then we've got like the top layer here. This is so cool. This one even has something attached at the end here indicating goods being... oh man, that is so cool. We're gonna place a few of these bases here. We're just gonna see how that works out. How do you actually align these? Something like this. One and a two. And then we should be able to enable snapping to the surface and just get this one. Actually, let's grab the cool version. Oh, I'll need to move it a bit, but we can do that in just a second. Now all the cool local stuff I'm using, they're from Sully's Discord. There's a channel there called Local Assets. So on the topic of Discord, I advise you all to join it because people are getting super creative now that we don't actually have. Should we just? Well, let's just do it like this. Now that we don't actually have custom assets, people are getting really creative with what we do have, which is just so fun to see. Yoink. All right, let's just save the game. I'm gonna pause here so you can read this name. You can Google it if you want, and you're gonna find a Danish artist because it's not my name. Sorry to disappoint. But some nice people have mentioned before, you're doxing yourself. No, don't worry. And if you want to see how 180 gigabytes worth of save looks, it looks like this. Every time I do the slightest thing, I save the game. Because I'm paranoid. Alright, back to some comments. An oil rig would be perfect in East Haven County. I agree, it would be super cool, but I would be voted out of office. I've already wrecked half the city with oil refineries, so if I am to destroy the Massachusetts coastline with oil rigs, I'm either gonna be really popular or really unpopular. I guess it depends on if I create jobs. I mean, if I create more jobs, then everything goes, right? I think Infra should nominate me as the East Haven County Emergency Service Commissioner. I think I should, but would that be a good financial decision on my behalf, Yukon? I do imagine you could spend 40% of my GDP on emergency services. But we wouldn't ever have a fire, though. Petrodollars save lives, yeah. I'm just gonna scroll through some comments. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm missing a ton of comments, but YouTube is telling me there's like 400 people here, which is mind-blowing. I did not expect this, so I'm a little overwhelmed. So I'm just, will you ever make a Baltic city? That could be kind of cool. Like an Estonian city or something from Lithuania. I think we do have a decent amount of assets, or decent selection of assets rather, for doing like a Baltic city. Because you can do I think you can do a pretty convincing mix of an old historic downtown and some Soviet-inspired apartment blocks and flats. So maybe. Do you plan on making another large actually, if I am answering comments, let's look at something interesting while I do so. This mess. This therapeutic mess. Do you plan on making another large expansion of the city in East Haven, or was Mersey City the last major urban expansion in the county? That's a great question. Mersey is probably gonna be the last large expansion, the last city of that particular size, because we're running out of room, and I guess there's like a theme, this southeastern Massachusetts theme, which is I don't think it allows for much denser development than we have now. At least not if we're going to eclipse Boston as the primary city in Massachusetts, then maybe. But I don't plan on making another large expansion in East Haven. I do plan on making many more new City Skylines 2 cities and series, though. Actually, I have so many plans. I have to kind of restrain myself, not create too many cities at once. But I have some cool plans for this year or the start of next year. Has anyone ever told you that your Danish accent sounds like a New Zealand accent? No, never. I get mistaken for being German or Dutch all the time, which is slightly odd, but I think at least Danish and Dutch has one thing in common, and that's the fact that they are like objectively hideous languages. They're not... I'm really sorry if I offended anyone from the Netherlands here, but I am Danish myself. I don't think Dutch or Danish sounds any good, so maybe there's like something there that could make me sound Dutch. I don't get the German part though. I feel like Germans, they speak so... every word in German is like masculine. Like the word pencil in German is something crazy and masculine and Rammstein-esque. I can't keep up with the comments. I guess I'm not supposed to. I didn't imagine this eclipse in Boston. I always felt this was the next biggest town between Boston and Providence. I think that's the same view I have, Richard. Although something that's a little awkward here in East Haven is that it is located in southeastern Massachusetts, and I don't think that's a super far stretch in terms of these islands, but they're a little too hilly, and the biggest elephant in the room that is going to take up your entire screen in just a moment is the mountains. And I can't do anything about them because they're beyond the map limits. And you're not gonna find these mountainsides in southeastern Massachusetts. I think someone mentioned that East Haven would probably be a better fit in Maine, which is funny because that's the other state I considered, and they're probably right. I mean, that would give me like a bit more roleplay leeway in terms of the hills, and oh yeah, there's a mountain on this side as well. So yeah, I don't usually show this. I usually show this angle, and now you know why. All the comments. Just getting to chat with you all is just wonderful. Your voice tone is German. Maybe. I think for some people, like international, I am assuming here, so apologies in advance, but I don't imagine many Indians have been exposed to a Danish accent, but I'm sure they've been exposed to a German accent because it's a huge, very prominent country, where Denmark is like its tiny, slightly more rational northern neighbor. Sorry, don't want to, like Denmark is Germany's Canada. Kugelschreiber. Nugget Island needs some rework. No offense, but it could be cooler. I completely agree. I think I used... No, I didn't, but I was planning on using this row of industry as the example of bland generic industry in the previous video. I just kind of forgot it. I guess I'm self-deprecating enough as is, but this is a mess. And it's not like we don't have the space here to create something really interesting. We actually do, and we also have the infrastructure in place for something nice. Back to the interchange. I like Denmark. You have unique metal frames around road signs, which makes it easy on GeoGuessr. Matthew, that is the most specific reason to like a country I've ever heard, but I'll take it. That is so incredibly nerdy. I love it. Someone asked whether I could show my production tab. Oh, that's a very personal question, man. Am I gonna do this? I don't have like specialized industries. Don't have like a stone we're gonna do it. How's this looking? Is this good or bad? I don't ever check this tab, and it kind of annoys me that I don't, because it's so cool that all of this is being simulated. I think my main problem is I don't know how or why it matters. Like if I start farming a bunch of if I start if I start zoning a bunch of livestock farming and I get a surplus, is that going to affect my economy positively? And how? And is there anywhere I can like check that? I mean, it kind of reminds me of, let's see, they added this recent feature where the any asset that kind of handles goods, like the cargo harbor here, it's going to tell whether there is a surplus or a deficit of a processed good, which is really cool. And I love the idea of all this stuff being stored and being like transacted locally and all that's exported, yada, yada, yada. I just don't know what it actually means. Like if I were to subsidize electronics production, I can do that through the taxation, which is also super cool. And then this one is now balanced or it goes green. What does that actually mean? Like, will I make a ton of money, or I don't know, which is a bit of a shame. It's like, it feels like there is a really complex, cool simulation under the hood, but it's just not really something. I mean, it's something you can interact with, and I choose to do so also because I love like role playing and trying to add a narrative. But it also kind of feels like I can just completely ignore it if I want to. Like my city can just import literally everything, and it's gonna be fine. Oh, look at this mess. Beautiful mess. More comments. You forgot to change Westpoint Marina Harbor. It looks outdated. So, in the spirit of actually getting stuff done, let's get some stuff done. I agree. it's kind of embarrassing. I live in a city that has a couple of marinas, but if you look at this marina, it kind of looks like I've never seen a marina in real life. Like, imagine trying to navigate your 80-foot sailboat in here. Yeah. Yeah. I shouldn't have said that. That's kind of embarrassing, actually. I'm just gonna change this quietly now. Rectify my mistake. Speaking of mistakes, the music just stopped and I haven't figured out how to play yet. So I'm gonna have to manually click right here. Wait. There we go. It's gonna begin again now. Yeah, I'm learning a couple of things today, guys. I've got some things to fix if we're streaming again. Anyways, we're rectifying this mistake by upgrading these, and I'm gonna remove every other part of this, I guess, to make it a little more marina-like. Awkward. Get rid of these. And I guess we could do this stretch as well. It's still not gonna be perfect, but I'm not gonna completely redo this. Oh, forgot this segment over here. I guess this is improving the look a little bit, but there's we could do a more detailed approach using props, which I've done over in Queen's Passage, or actually just in the Fort John marina, but that's gonna take a little more time. I think this is better. Like, this could be built by a person that like had at least one faded memory of visiting a marina compared to before, where it couldn't. Let's just save. Yank. I should revisit the Westpoint as well in sometime in the future, because I haven't been here for a long. Actually, I built this 2 episodes ago, but besides that, we haven't actually been in the city for a long time. Oh well. So this is the other marina design I mentioned, where we've got these actual. They are of course by Harbor Master J as well, local assets. We've got these piers, but they are kind of painful to kind of stack up, as you can imagine. So I'm not doing that right now. Let's see, more comments. Denmark is flat. That is correct. Sweden is better than Denmark. That is that's not correct. But Sweden is a wonderful country, and I love my Swedish neighbors. We have much more in common than we have to differ. Let's see. Hello from Nepal. Wonderful job in East Haven so far. Thank you so much, Lonely Raccoon. So hello from Denmark to Nepal. Nugget Island could have a Coast Guard station. Could it? It actually could. I imagine this is the location you're thinking about, Yukon, because I imagine like the Coast Guard ships would love to be unobstructed by any type of bridges. I mean, I know they can technically go under, but this might just be... Okay, we're committing. I'm not gonna build it now. I don't know how to build a Coast Guard station. It's gonna look like Westpoint Marina before the renovation, which is gonna be real bad, but we are going to save this idea. Future custom Coast Guard station. Every first letter capitalized, like a true YouTuber making a title. Create a small artificial island and build a ton of low-rent apartment buildings. It would give a very brutalistic vibe, but don't connect it by a road to the main island. Only boats could get there. That's a pretty cool, unique idea. I might do something like that when we hopefully get some ferries. within the next 10 years or so. We desperately need like some low density or low capacity ferry services, so you don't have to hook up your tiny islands with cruise ships if you don't want bridges. I'm just so excited for emergency services. Please use the sheriff props and be the first CS2 creator to make a sheriff's office. The sheriff's props. I'm gonna sound incredibly ignorant now. Is this because I can't spell? I can spell sheriff, right? Can you specify the props we're talking about? Chill about most things, but the lack of custom assets is infuriating. I completely get you. I do. I think in my case, I have now spent, I don't know, 600-700 hours or so maybe building E7, and I've only really dived into the vanilla theme as well as the North American region packs, and then I've mixed in some Chinese and Eastern European themed things in terms of like apartment blocks or public housing. So personally, I still feel like I have a ton of stuff I could do. Like I haven't even built like a proper massive sprawling European themed city yet, which is a real shame because we actually have the assets to more or less do that. So I completely agree that not having assets by this point in time in the game's development is, I don't know, it's embarrassing, I think. But I do feel like the region packs really helped, and I still feel ever creative in this game. And I feel like the things that the game does do right, like network construction and all that stuff, it just completely nails those parts. Like they're like home runs, so I can't go back to Cities 1. Also, I literally technically can't go back to Cities 1 because I'm pretty sure I would have to spend days just getting my like 10,000 assets and 150 mods to work, which is something I've found much easier in Cities 2. And my game still only takes like, I don't know, 3 minutes to load. Could you show us your visual settings and graphic settings, please? Yes. Yes. I can't build anything of value in this stream, obviously, but I can showcase my graphic settings and add a few comments here and there. Okay, so the first comment: I am not using the game's default DLSS file because it is terrible. I've just overridden that by like a newer DLSS file, which I find really helpful. If you Google that or look on Reddit, you'll be able to find a guide for this like relatively easy. So I advise you do that if you want to utilize DLSS. And then I think I have most things on high. Oh wait, I'm gonna enable this one as well. I have global illumination quality disabled because this is the cause of some wonky shadows that you might experience at times. So I'm just gonna showcase you guys. If we enable this and we move in and we say that it's, let's see, is it late in the afternoon or something? I'll see if I can actually get this to trigger. Of course I can't. When I'm actually live, everything's looking absolutely beautiful. But in my experience, when I have global illumination on, the shady bits, like the shadowed out areas, they can have like a weird texture flicker. And for some reason, that's not the case the one time I actually live stream. Of course, naturally. But anyways, I have it off for that reason. I don't think it adds too much visually to the game, so I just have that off because I need to record cinematics after each episode, and it looks terrible if I have a global illumination on. All of this is pretty basic, sorry. It's all set to high. Motion blur disabled because I'm not a lunatic. No offense. Terrain cast, I disabled this one because I don't know if it's the case anymore, but it used to create really weird shadows on like curbs. So around like roundabout curbs and at intersections. So I have this one off. Everything else is set to high. And then for level of detail, this is basically high. The reason it says custom is that I've increased this from 70 to 100%. But I think this requires a beefy PC, so just keep that in mind. Then everything else is high, and then we've got the Lumina running as well. I cannot keep up with these comments. There's 441 people here. That is... That's welcome everyone. That's crazy. I'm gonna miss a ton of comments. Apologies in advance. I'm not used to this. I'm a little overwhelmed in a good way, but I am also just going to have to ignore a bunch of comments. There is a ferry mod that works well. I've actually seen that one. I'm a little hesitant of using it because I have used mods from the same creator who is really talented, but the mods are kind of complex. So when updates do occur, yeah, I've had to do some cleanup. So I'm a little hesitant with using that one, but I might just need to pull the trigger and try it. Because yeah, I find fixing mods or mod issues is becoming a lot easier with Skyve. Which is the best mod of all time. Mr. Player X asks, hey, what are we building today? Well, prepare to be impressed. We've been streaming for about an hour and we currently have a grassy field with 2 random cranes and some ships, as well as this fantastic piece of detailing. Yeah, so things are going according to my plan, and my only plan was don't get too caught up in chat, man. Make sure you build some stuff, and here we are. Let's read some chat. I mean, the chat is just too much fun, and it's like such a big part of live streaming, so I kind of feel inclined to read most comments. Danrai, I'm sorry if I butchered your name, wrote, traffic going towards the city on the bridge in that intersection do not have an exit towards Nugget Island or any way of getting there from that direction. That is correct. Let's just zoom in. So if you are commuting... Oh, whoa. If you're commuting eastwards, look at all the action going on here. I'm kind of proud of this. Anyways, if you're going eastwards on this... wait a minute. You can. I might have misunderstood you. But you can... Oh, I'm an idiot. Sorry. Traffic going towards the city on the bridge in that intersection. Let's see. Yes. That's correct. If you are leaving the city of Chowder Bay, which we have right here, and you're making your commute or visit to Fort John with the imposing skyline in the background, you technically can't actually get onto Nugget Island. What you can do instead, though, is you can use the old bridge, the Cape Rose Express. It's gonna be a bit of a drive to actually get there, but you can get there. But you're completely right. This is what happens when you have you have a basic interchange at first, and then instead of like calling a mulligan and actually building something proper here, you just expand it with new afterthoughts and new ideas, and yeah. But I just I love this mess. But you're right, there's a bit of an oversight there. I also think you technically can't even, I mean, if you're moving westbound on Massachusetts Route 28, once again for Fort John, but on this stretch of the highway, you can't get to Nugget Island in an easy manner either. You will have to move into, let's see, you will have to get off around here right after the bridge, and then you will have to take the Cape Rose Express. So lots of lacking. Yeah, we've got some issues here. Yukon, I believe it's the badge on the Southwest Large Police Station. Really? Let's just get that placed and have a look. No, I shouldn't place it. I don't have the money, but I'll take your word for it, and I'm gonna keep that in mind when we build a Coast Guard station here. No pollution mod. Tony asks. I mean, we could, but I do like when I mess things up, to be honest, because I mean the storylines kind of write themselves then. Like I can't just not work in Cape Rose for the next many episodes. I have to, because I've made a mess. So I kind of like when things go wrong, as long as they don't go too wrong. Richard writes, I am in Japan, so it's almost 1:30 here, but I'll stay up to watch this. I hope you don't expect me to build anything cool, but I'm happy that I'm keeping you entertained nonetheless. Let's see. There's so many comments. 88 Balloons writes, I have tried going back to CS1, but I just can't. CS2 is just so much better to build in. I agree. And I think this game had a terrible launch, and it still needs a ton of work. And we should remember that as consumers spending hard-earned money. But people seem to forget the state, not the state, but how City Skylines 1 looked on vanilla launch, or how it looks vanilla today if you boot it up without any mods. It's personally, it's not a pretty game. It has this cozy, cartoony vibe, but I mean, the big difference here is that I expect to use the City Skylines 2 vanilla assets even when we have 10,000 custom assets, because plenty of them look like proper nice, and they're gonna fit into my future builds for a long time. Now compare that to City Skylines 1, where I had pretty much like disabled all the vanilla stuff. I had none of that enabled because it just looked out of place, in my humble opinion, at least. I'm trying to get caught up here. I honestly love this interchange. I'm glad you do. I am kind of proud. It's yeah, it's a thing. I made a thing here, and then a bit of public housing with a pretty awesome view, honestly. I mean, if you don't rely on public transport, you shouldn't in East Haven, because that's yeah, another area where I've cut budgets. But if you do have a car, which obviously most people who live here actually do, then boring looking, flat or not, I mean, this is a pretty nice location. Look at the views you have. That's not too bad, huh? One more lane. Yes. Harsh Kumar writes, a dam is a great thing to build. It'll be a no pollution powerhouse. You're correct. I don't have any I'm kind of missing the geographical features to build a dam though. I don't have any streams or rivers or like reservoirs with a lot of throughput. I mean, technically we could create that, of course. Can you zoom in on the interchange when you're taking these questions? Yes. This is going to be an interchange stream. Christian asks, does he only talk on streams? Oh, no. You can listen to literally 200 hours of my blunt droning voice on my YouTube channel. There's a never-ending stream of rambling and weird lingo and an odd accent that is either German, Dutch, or Danish, depending on my mood. So no, man. Christian, you're gonna find plenty of talking. Or okay, maybe you asked because you were hoping I didn't talk in the videos. In that case, you're gonna be severely disappointed. If you watch my old content, City Skylines 1, back from 2017 and 2018, I didn't talk. I was a bit of a shy boy. Hello from Tunisia. Hello, Ryan. Ryan Isit. I hope I pronounced that correct, but hello from Denmark. Just like Boston, can't rely on the transit. I had to leave my train 2 days ago because it would be 3 hours faster. I actually thought Boston was in a pretty good place in terms of like public transportation. I mean, comparatively to the rest of the US. So that's a bit disheartening to hear. Why don't you continue with Riverview? So I answered this earlier, but it's been half an hour now. I don't find it super interesting to work in currently. And I've just learned after 300 videos that I have to enjoy what I'm building. Otherwise, it's just gonna be a forced effort. And I know I sound like an annoying cliche artist person. Someone who's super creative and have to be in the right mood, but it's actually true though. This is all dependent on creativity. That's what drives it. Panda Corps writes, for all its faults, City Skylines 2 is still, in my opinion, the best city builder out there, simply because it can morph into people's playstyles. You can grind and or detail in the game. I agree, but I think I'm gonna try out Manor Lords, because that game is looking mighty fine. What's up from Philippines? What's up? We love your voice, Infra. Thank you. I think I get a comment on every other video. Man, your videos are so great to fall asleep to. Or I just fall asleep as soon as I watch your content, and I'm like, is that a compliment? Imagine hearing that on a first date. Is that okay? I think it's a compliment. When do you think we'll get a console release? Oh, oi. I mean, I have no idea. I'm sorry. I don't know how high that is on the list of priorities or how far they are from it. So no idea. Sorry. I feel like Riverview is also more of a finished city, like basically everything has been reached, you know. Yeah, I guess I tend to agree. I think the main I think the main thing that's keeping me from playing Riverview is that it feels outdated. And that might sound strange to some of you, because I know there are a lot of people that just absolutely love that city, and that's like their City Skylines 2 city. But personally, I think my playstyle and the builds I do have evolved quite a bit from Riverview. And of course, we could like call a mulligan and redo much of it. but it's just so daunting to load up a city, and you feel like 80% of it is kind of outdated, and I don't like the map either. I didn't do any like changes to the map before I started that city, because obviously I started it in like early access of the game. But it's not a great map, not compared to what we have today, like in terms of creator-based maps. All right, so Yukon, okay, copy that. We'll figure out something for the Coast Guard station. Now the music has stopped again, which is I think that's a sign that I should get building. So we're gonna slap on some music again, and then we're gonna continue. We were actually trying to build something earlier, so let's move all the way up here. Okay, so we're trying to build a dock specifically dedicated to the Mersey, Massachusetts paper company for easy export, so maybe importing goods as well. Now, it would be cool to actually have train tracks here as well. And if I can overcomplicate my cities with train tracks, I'm going to. So let's actually bring in like a small dedicated rail yard for this segment as well. So that it has more of it has a bit of an additional purpose than just serving the paper company and its immediate needs. So let's see. I think I have a dedicated rail yard segment even. Not this one, but this one. It's a free-line rail yard track I've made in Road Builder, and it's actually what's it called? Bidirectional. It's two-way. That's the word I'm looking for. It's two-way. So, oh wait, it actually has catenaries though. I don't. Yeah, let's just keep it. We'll just place like a small segment here, and then. Oh, I'm getting cold feet here. I don't think I should do train stuff on stream, because when I do videos, I can technically hide from the train experts who would otherwise hunt me down. Okay, we're gonna do something super simple here, and then I might off camera make it look a little more nice. But for now, we are just gonna make sure we've got some freight rail moving in here. It's easier to get it done now than having to retrofit it at the very least. And then we're just gonna move across here in like a straight segment. We'll just get this aligned with a complex curve. Whoops. Let's see, this one. 1, 2, and 3. And we'll need to connect up to this segment as well. Let's see, I'll probably have to redo this one. We'll see if the snapping here actually wants to align. Hopefully it does. Oh, what happens if I just do like this and connect, and then I just kind of figure out this mess without any snapping on, hopefully. Yeah. That's pretty nice, don't you think? Oh man, let's see. Maybe we can manipulate our way out of this, which I know that sounds a little dramatic. And I gotta be careful here. I don't want to risk a crash. I mean, that's an improvement. Anything is an improvement to what we had, but reading the comments, that's a terrible spaghetti mess. That rail interchange is cursed. Come on, it's not that bad, is it? It's not too bad. I'm confident I've seen worse. I'm not a rail person, but that looks cursed. Yeah, I mean, that does look slightly cursed. But, I mean, it's not too bad, is it? I'm getting shy here. I'm going to move away from the rail. Look at the nice city I've built over there. Do you guys love this? I think it looks pretty pretty nice. Oh man. Okay. I'm gonna stick with it, I think. I need just a bit in terms of like a railyard here. Just need to get it in place. We can always upgrade it, make it look a little nicer. And I wonder if we can do tracks for the for these actual cranes here. Something that can look like tracks they can utilize. Probably not rail tracks, but maybe a net lane of some sort, like a road marking. I should probably just kind of cover it all up with a surface first. So we're just gonna make sure that we've got it all terraformed to our liking. And we don't, because the rail is at a different height than the actual docks. So we're just gonna fix that. Grab the nodes, align it to this height. I think that's more like it. Yes, this should work, I think. All right, let's grab an appropriate surface. So we use concrete medium here, and we might want to use the light version over here, just kind of showcase, I don't know, a bit more wear and tear, or just that it has been like repaved or resurfaced in recent times. Or that the other one has been repaved in recent times, right? Oh, I messed that up. Whoops. So we'll just see. I think this one is actually going to cover the rail tracks, which might be what we want. Hesitating there for a second because I haven't actually checked how this is gonna look. That's pretty good. And then some form of net lane, or I guess technically there's like 2 wheel sets on either side. Let's see, road markings. I don't think this is going to work. We need like maybe like a specific decal of some sort. Like a long thin piece of metal sheet or something. I don't actually know what I'm gonna utilize here. Do I have something that would kind of fit the bill? I wonder if I can like lower a fence into the ground. Tram line. Use the tram line. One-way train track without power lines. I wonder if this is actually gonna work. That's an interesting suggestion. It almost looks like a perfect fit. I mean, there's a bit to figure out in terms of the notification we're getting here, but besides that, then oh my goodness, look at this. Look at that watermark. All right. That is pretty cool. That's a great suggestion. We should probably just maybe add a bit more space. I wonder if I can use Road Builder to just create a tramline segment that is bidirectional and won't get this notification thingy. Or alternatively, we could just like kind of loop it here, connect it. I mean, that's not a perfect solution, but it's better than having this disgusting notification. I have been traumatized by notifications due to the pollution issues over there. Look at it in the distance, just mocking me. So let's just try this instead. Now there are some power lines here, as you guys might be able to see. They're hardly visible, but that's just... I don't think we can actually remove them, unfortunately. They're just kind of a part of the deal when utilizing these non-catenary lines. But let's just check if this will actually work. Oh, it's so wonky. I need a 90-degree angle. I don't think that's a... Okay, we're just gonna try now. I think this looks a little better, probably. It's just to get the notification away, basically. But I think from a distance, that actually kind of works. And maybe this is like some wiring in between the two cranes or something. Desperately fishing for a purpose of this of these wires because I can't remove them. Yeah, I think I'm gonna keep this for now. I'm just gonna save the game. I'm just gonna check up on some comments. A freight engineer just died somewhere. Not because of my work, right? But because of statistics. We're 8 billion people. It should happen at one point in time. That's an angle, yeah. Put a building or prop on top. We could do that. That might be a good idea, actually, just to kind of... you mean to cover up the oddities here? Yeah, I mean... yeah, that's probably a good idea. We do have a bit of space for like some warehouse units or something. I think I'm actually just gonna grab like a regular industrial unit. So we get the actual jobs from it as well. So what is this? This is 3x2, I'd say. And then something that doesn't have like a ton of surface parking, because then it's not really going to cover up. Come on. Oh, that's one asset. I guess we could do 3x3 as well. That's not gonna work, is it? You can cover the ends with decals and then put rail end stops to mark the limits of the crane. Ah, yes. Yes. And maybe before I do that, I should be able to... Can I do something to alleviate this? I think it's because it spawned another node here. Which is super annoying because it's such a small segment. I hope I can just grab the segment. Come on. I know it's here somewhere. No? Oh. Why is that not working? I'm gonna try and redraw it. No guarantees on the second run either. So if we just click once just to snap and then disable all snapping, and I try to align this at a 90-degree angle, and then maybe I enable snapping under connection. No, it's gonna look... It's gonna be wonky, isn't it? Yeah, but that's even worse than before. Don't know how I managed that. We're gonna see if we can actually cover it up. I think these... No. I don't actually think I can cover up the tracks with decals. Because I think technically this this little road marking tells me that this should go above roads. Yeah, it does. But I won't be able to cover up the tracks here. You can remove the tram line. Yeah, technically that's correct. I could just abandon this ridiculous setup. But I feel kind of invested now, you know. I do feel a little invested. So I think, okay, a compromise is that we're going to have some form of service or maintenance building right here. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to grab a prop building so that we can cover up the tracks even better. Someone mentioned the warehouse being a good fit, and I tend to agree because that is going to help me cover it up. Maybe, yeah, I mean, if we're going for a simple approach, we might just do something like that. And we're obviously going to need the connection as well. And let's see, I'd like some industry to line the tracks here. So I wouldn't mind having a bit of a buffer in between, but it doesn't have to specifically be a road. It could just be a surface piece. But if I want the industry to align with the tracks, we're going to just complicate the road layout a bit further by just adding this really long weird segment here. Oh, they are at different heights, of course. Well, we can fix that, I think. No, I'm not allowed to select nodes in this game anymore. This is a cursed node. I can't. Oh, it's here. Oh. This is the node controlling this. This is not gonna work. The game is gonna crash if I if I force it to do something like that. Oi, oi, oi. Okay, so we're just gonna have a segment to about here, and then we're just gonna merge in. It was basically just to have something to align the factories on that are going to be, you know, be parallel to the rail tracks here. That was the idea, at least. All right, let's just get rid of some of the foliage here. And we'll do a surface extension, and I think we might just grab this surface actually. And we'll have a bit of a switch kind of midway, where it kind of changes to the lighter version. And we may do like, this is the medium grayish, and you can kind of see the transition to the light gray. You can kind of use this as you know, to add like patches. I think we're gonna do that as well, where they have like resurfaced it. So I'm just gonna make sure I have a stretch of that added in here, just like that, before I add in the light version we're using at the actual track segment over here. It's a tiny thing, but I think it's just about gonna be noticeable. Yeah, that looks all right. Why no road parallel to the tracks? We could do that as well. I just want I would like the industrial facilities to be like really close to the tracks. And I don't want any traffic to kind of navigate here. I want it to be like a loading area. It's probably gonna be easier if I like actually find an asset, try to add that, because it's very theoretical right now. So something like this. So if we go by 5 tiles deep, we should be able to just manually place these so that there is a bit of obvious space where you can have some like stuff you've packaged which are ready to be shipped, or be moved by a cargo rail, of course. Let's just get some of these in here. Is this gonna play ball if I splice it? Yes, it is. And then just... which color is more boring? Probably this one. Yoink. And then we could add like a net lane here though, so that it's a little more obvious that it's used for like loading and offloading stuff from the train tracks that might not necessarily have to be like exported by ship immediately. So let's just see what we can find. I use net lanes way too little. But they have such a great potential, so it's a bit of a shame, really. But they are kind of finicky to use, or maybe that's just my lack of experience. So something that looks slightly industrial, concrete / grass. Now that sounds like, oh my goodness, that is a winner. We've even got a 9 meter width version we can utilize here. I don't know how the corner is gonna look, but that's we're gonna worry about that afterwards. Now we just wanna line it real close here. Now it is a net lane, so it's very sensitive, as you guys can see, to elevation changes. So maybe we should actually see if we can move even closer to the train tracks. Yeah. Okay, it's a little wonky due to oh man, there's a slope here. Not sure how this is gonna look. Not terrible. But of course the big magic trick. This is the one detailing trick I can give, because it's all I know. I am a one-trick pony. You've got these decals, right? You can just spam them everywhere to cover up all your imperfections. Especially this large 2K decal by Sully. I think I have 100,000 instances of that here in East Haven alone. I'm not joking. But if you really want to spice things up, you're gonna find the, what's it called, Real Vision decals. I don't believe you can grab these from PDX mods. But you can find them in Sully's Discord, I'm pretty sure. And these are just incredible. They're a little finicky when I don't have flat elevation, which I should have, but I mean, could we do something like this? Oh, no. Come on. Like you could do something like this to really make this segment stand out. It's almost like it aligns with the tram tracks even. But anyways, my point is that some of these, I mean, look at these, they just, it's like they do have the work for you due to being so nice. Yoink. That already helped quite a bit, I think. Okay, we're assuming that okay, so the train tracks is not for the exportation of paper products, because you wouldn't load it on a train for it to then be shipped. So this is more like general purpose, or maybe it's going to be the exportation of planks, like forestry industry. Because then the the forest industry here in East Haven have like a pretty easy logistic situation. They need to get their stuff to Oceanside because either the Mersey, Massachusetts paper company is going to purchase it and process it into their products. And in that case, it's going to be stored here at the medium train lumber yard, or any lumber that the paper company can't take off your hands, you can just export in the same industrial district where you have people knowing how to handle it. So I think these ships are actually exporting lumber. Yes. Whenever I conjure these narratives, I can't help but wonder that there is someone sitting out there who actually knows a thing or two about logistics going like, what are you saying? None of that makes any sense. but that's okay. Okay, so I need a train-related question. Which type of train car would you use to transport lumber? Would it be something like this? This or this one? This regular one? I'm assuming it would be something like this. I even think we might be able to we might be able to squeeze lumber in here. I'm so terrified of checking up on the comments in just a second, because I've been working with trains now for 20 minutes. But I'm just gonna add these in, and then we'll see how bad the comment situation is, or the chat situation. Sorry. I'm checking. The first one, the spiky one. All right. I've got that going then. The spiky one. I'm just gonna save and read some comments and have a sip of my Coke. That's good. Ship should import timber, writes It's Andy. Technically that's correct, because I don't think we have like any lumber farms in East Haven yet, but we are going to have some. That was the plan when I built the paper company. We're gonna have some local stuff. I think currently we are importing it from Boston. Yes, we're or I don't know if it's specifically from Boston, but we're importing it from the northern part of the I want to say state, but then someone is going to tell me that Massachusetts is actually a Commonwealth and I should shut up. So northern parts of the Commonwealth. Add a fence around showing it's off limits. That's a good idea. Fence. We've got an industrial fence of some sort. Industrial high. Let's see if this will look all right. I need to get rid of these catenaries. This is not fancy electrified stuff. This is all good old diesel. And I'm gonna align this surface as well so that I can just move it up here. Let's, oh, whoops. Why am I? Let's grab this surface and get that aligned. Let's see, need a recycling center for this area. Oh, yeah. Ah, damn it. Well, I mean, we are making money now. Didn't I place one out here? Let's just have a look. See how things are looking. We don't have a recycling center at all out here. We've got one dedicated to the geothermal plants, as well as the Emerson Industrial Estate and the airport. But otherwise, Mersey is at the mercy of the remainder of the county's garbage management. So we do need some recycling. I wonder if we could, can we fit it here? Garbage logistics center, 200k. That is kinda, that's a bit of a squeeze, right? What do you guys think about this location? Is that a good addition, or should we keep this water inlet intact? Thank you guys so much for all the kind comments. I know that's a bit of a blanket statement, just grouping you all together, but I'm reading so many nice comments out of the... No. Lumber might not typically be shipped because it can spread tree diseases. Even then, they are usually spread by pallet wood. It might be possible for this to be in state, and that's not a problem. Okay, that's interesting. So I think going by that comment, if we are exporting lumber by ship, we're only moving inlands. Because this is west, which means that you're going to hit the shoreline of, let me think. What state is located just south of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts? There's like a bunch of port cities in this direction, and down here, not this mountain, but down here somewhere, you're going to hit the eastern tip of Long Island. And then, of course, New York and so on and so forth. But there's a bunch of like port cities here, which I guess you could export to. And it might even be easier than rail, because East Haven is an archipelago. So you have to move north through this rail, and then you move on to this massive peninsula in Massachusetts. I don't remember the name of it, of course. So that's a good comment, Green Bean. I think that is that's gonna tighten up the narrative here a little bit, and I think we're just gonna flip these ships, because I'm nothing but a child, and if the ship is looking like it's facing westwards, it's because it's going to go in this direction. Yeah. We've got the fence in place. So I asked about the recycling center. Whether we should just place it in the on the inlet. Rhode Island and Connecticut. Yes, of course. Texas, California, Canada. I mean, Canada is so massive that, you know, if you just keep sailing, you're going to reach it eventually. Keep that little river, place it on the other side of the factory. Oh, you mean over here? We do have a bit of empty space here. That's a good idea. I did terraform this, so we do have like a bit of space here. So let's actually just do that. So we're just gonna place it. I just want to make sure that it's the same height as the factory. It is. Okay, so let's see. Mersey. I'm just gonna call it garbage center. Just a slightly unique flair. Not very creative, I know. Then we're going to select operating districts, and let's see. If I recall, I do have these two districts covered by this facility right here. So we're just going to restrict it to every other part of Mersey, including the suburban sprawl out here, Yorktown, Imperial Heights, Boring Park, and the Imperial Motorsport Park. Don't know how much trash this actually produces. It's just props. And I just want to check to make sure that I haven't messed up anything here. So this one is covering geothermal plants, the airport, and the Emerson Industrial Estate. Okay, great. Cool. We're gonna do some detailing of this, of course, but we just want to get it placed now. I don't want to lose track of what I'm doing here. I'm gonna do a vote because I need to learn how to do that. So we're gonna start a poll, which is going to be, are we redoing the train tracks to get rid of catenaries? Diesel only. Yes or no? Yoink. Oh, it actually worked. Live streaming is saving InfraCity. I wonder why that is. It's certainly not because I can get some actual proper feedback from you guys. Or maybe it is. Alright, so it seems like 2/3 of you all are in favor of actually just redoing And I have to change the district borders. That is a good point, Noble. That's a good point. If I insist on district restricted services, I at the very least need to make sure they're covered by the district's boundary tool. Have Sully's decals on train tracks? Yes, we should. But I need to redo the train tracks at first. So I'm just gonna pause the game. We're just gonna... No, let's make a new save. So I have a bit of traceability here. There you go. And then we can remove this. It should... Actually, I'm just gonna keep these props and then we're gonna check if we can align the train tracks in a nice fashion. Now, fortunately, I do have a non-catenary version of the regular dual train track here, courtesy of Tygon, I think. Yes, the double train track non-electrified. I don't want any of this electricity stuff. We're gonna get that good old diesel in here. I hope you don't think that was German. All right. Let's see. Good old diesel. We've got the one-way train track on Don't I have a... Yeah, this one. The two-way is also unelectrified. Now I have to be careful here because we're now starting... I'm gonna add some tracks and then I'll have to use Move It to bring them real close. And that is a... that's a finicky operation. A crash-prone operation, I would say. So I have to... oh, wait, maybe... I'm gonna try and use my brain for just a second and see if I can do something a little different. I don't have to make free. Do I have to make... Oh, this is not two-way. But this one is. Get this placed and then we're gonna try and align these. Now I want everyone to hold their breath as I start moving this. And we're gonna see how many people pass out. Come on. So far so good. Or maybe the stream has crashed by now and that's how my computer is giving up on my Move It shenanigans and I'm talking to myself, but I think this is working, and I'm glad you guys voted for this one. This is a better solution. Oh, this node is looking super wonk. Can I realistically... No, I'm not gonna touch that. It's going to... Can I... Is the distance between these correct? I think that looks all right, although the train tracks are kind of hidden. Like this middle track, but there's a tiny bit of elevation here as well, so I think I gotta like cut my losses and just cover that up with this segment here. If we just move that in like this, and then we spam some cool decals on here to really get a grimy industrial vibe, then I think we're pretty good to go. Let's have a look. That looks better, doesn't it? Oh, Yukon, thank you so much for stopping by. Excited for the Coast Guard station and the Sheriff's office. I know you're gonna hold me up to it. There's no hiding now. Those Germans do love diesel as well. Oh yeah, that's actually true. A surprisingly terrible train infrastructure in Germany. Not what you'd think. Hey, Infra, just want... Okay, this is a comment I have to read out loud, apparently. I feel like it. Hey, Infra, just want to say I love your content, man. Keep up the great videos and good luck with streaming. Thank you so much, Benjamin. Thank you so much. Green Bean writes to... Oh, wait, we have no music. Oh my goodness. I'm such an amateur. We have music again. Green Bean writes, Turns out I was wrong about international lumber shipping. However, it does require lumber treatment and maybe the local loggers don't want to pay that. That's a good point. That's a good point. Are you married, Infra? Yes, I am. I got married last year after more than 10 years of dating. I married the love of my life. I am very fortunate. I feel privileged. And she's very supportive too of this whole endeavor. More supportive than I could have ever hoped. All right. Oh, look at this disgusting mess. But I'm not gonna touch this. It's gonna break. It is gonna break. But come on. Can I decal my way out of this? Oh, this one maybe? Is there any reason for like moss or grass to grow on the side of the tracks here? Maybe if can I overlay these? Nah, this is not the one. Maybe this one. There's lots of things going on with this one. It's really broken. And then a few of these ones. Oh, yes. Now I'm very curious on whether we can actually fit some timber within these cars here. If not, that's a bit of a bummer. That's like the entire premise of choosing those, but it's not gonna be timber, it's gonna be logs. It's not gonna be logs, it's gonna be something else. I feel an awkward language barrier coming up currently. What is this? I'm gonna search for wood. Which probably doesn't work either. Oh, wait, no. Wood piles. Ooh, actually. Not bad. I'm surprised that wood actually worked. I felt like I felt very Danish as I searched for that. But no, here we are. And I mean, it's not a perfect fit. Let's maybe I should kind of do this, but it would take a ton of time. So I might just do a prototype and fill in the rest at, or maybe I can actually just, yeah, I can. Okay. So we're just gonna do, I'm just gonna do a couple of these. And then I always like to just zoom out and see just how off the mark I am. That's not bad, is it? I'm pretty sure moss on tracks is a thing. All right, that's good. We do have a bit over here. I wonder if there's gonna be like sea fighting if I utilize this one as well. It doesn't look like it, which is, I think that's really, it's really interesting. So in City Skylines 1, if you aligned decals on top of each other or next to each other, there would be like crazy sea fighting where the texture would like fight for the top spot basically to be rendered. But that doesn't seem to be the case in City Skylines 2. I don't know like the technicals on why that isn't the case, but it's pretty nice. But I'm not sure. I think both of these fit in currently. And now I can't find it. Can I? Yeah, it's right there. Okay, let's just get that out over here. There you go. It's getting there. The cranes are definitely oversized, but we don't have any proper custom options. So I think like this is what we've got so far. Now would they stack this right on top of the ship, or would they, wonder if they'd use a barge instead? If these ships are just going inland or further into like the archipelagos in here, and they are shielded from the Atlantic Ocean, maybe they just use barges instead. Because I have these custom bad boys, well, quote-unquote custom. These are once again from Sully's Discord. And I mean, technically, I guess we could use one of these just for the fun of it. They're really chunky, but I think they actually float. I'm just gonna remove these two. We can always redo this, but I think this one actually floats. Because of some black magic, this asset was created. Come on. Look at that. That is so cool. It's actually floating. And the reason it's floating is that there's an actual ship underneath it. Oh man, the creativity being mercilessly forced out of this community because we don't have custom assets is so cool. Definitely barges, alright. Now I wish I could... I can't reduce these container props, unfortunately. Would you repack the wood or the timber in containers? You wouldn't do that, right? It would already have been treated with something, or it would just be of a certain quality so that it could just be shipped like on an open deck without issue. I have no idea. I literally don't know. And I think one negative with this guy floating is that I don't think we can place an actual prop on it. No way. I mean, okay, we can, but I don't think it's going to move. No, it's not going to move. So I don't think that's really gonna work. But I kind of just want to use this barge because it looks interesting. Did any of the other barges look better? We've got a coal one, crop, freight, and garbage. So I guess if we imagine that this dock does have like a general purpose, it's not just for exporting excess lumber that the paper company can't handle, then maybe this barge has a dual purpose. It's bringing back a few containers that then need to be loaded onto a something, maybe trucks driving down here. Yeah. Can I make that look believable by having some... Oh, there's log trailer props. We definitely need those. I'll just place one of them. And then we have these intermodals where you can of course place some containers on as well. Then we need a proper semi to haul the whole thing. Yes, and then we need a container. A shipping container. I think this guy can actually carry two, so one container still. Okay, that's gonna need a bit of move it, I see. And then another one. This is gonna be a little funky, guys. Oh, that's not really gonna work. I'm not sure these goods would arrive undamaged. Search trailer for the stacks of lumber. Really? Oh, these are kind of nice. Do they Oh, they just about don't fit within the full. Is there like a smaller version? No. I don't think so, but I mean, we can still utilize these props. Oh my goodness. Maybe I should just spend like 5 minutes actually looking into it. Thank you so much, Tony, for that suggestion. I would not have figured that out on my own. So, truck trailer log pile. This is perfect. I am going to delist the stream afterwards because I'm getting hard carried here. Oh, this is so nice. We've got a couple of different versions as well. Although I guess it would probably be like the same type of relatively fast growing wood they'd be selling, like spruce of some sort. But we'll do 2 variations anyways. And I bet this would actually work all right here by this crane, because I could place 2 next to each other. Let's just get this elevated a little bit. Okay, so this is the narrative, folks, and tell me if it's completely unbelievable. But this barge is currently being unloaded, and it's obviously just carrying like general purpose containers, different goods, and then these are gonna go on truck beds, and then the ship is ready to be loaded with logs, or maybe not even this ship, but another one is ready to be loaded with these logs, and then move westwards. That is super believable, right? We're gonna look at the intersection when I read your comments, because that's gonna put everyone in a good mood. Let's see. I feel like there's missing some road marks at the harbor. That's a good point. We gotta add those in, especially now that we've got easy truck access, or not really easy, but he got there somehow. Let's see. Tony to the rescue. Oh yes. How does the truck get out? Hey man, don't get technical with me. Your expectation is way too high. How does the truck get out? I don't know. I should make sure that the truck could get out, definitely. Yukon writes, if cargo is being shipped inland and upland in calm waters, covering in tarps would probably be most effective and less weighty, because then you just tie down the wood. So my language barrier is challenging me a little bit, but a tarp is like the material you use for a tent, right? So it's like a big piece of tent thingy that you can cover something with. That might work. So one question, and we really have to use our imagination now, is this barge filled with garbage, or is that just an ugly looking tarp actually covering a bunch of logs? What do you guys think? Garbage or tarp? This is a deep philosophical question, and your answer is gonna tell a ton about your character, but what do you see? Garbage or tarp that is actually covering some of these logs ready to be exported? It's paper. Oh, now that's a Rorschach test right there. Ugly tarp. Garbage, garbage. The crop barge looks more... Oh my goodness, I have not explored all the possibilities. Ah, yes. we've got some top and we've got some garbage people in here. It looks like paper mache. I don't think I can recolor. No, I can't. I don't think I can recolor any of these. These are like sub props because this is a very, very creatively created asset. But I do agree. I think this one looks. Oh, whoa. Alright, so it's great to place these perfectly at first, because move it is going to really cause a bit of a stir here. But I guess it worked. Or maybe Sawdust. It could look like Sawdust, but I think that would be kind of counterproductive. We're trying to export the actual logs. This is going to be a sulfur pit. You guys are very imaginative. It's gonna be top, I think. Hello, Brandy. Welcome on board the rookie stream. The rookie being me, at least in terms of like streaming. I mean, this thing is sort of starting to come together. It is the slowest build I have ever done. But it's also one of the more fun ones due to the interaction with you guys. That's definitely changing a few things. Recycled paper, there's a lot of opportunities here, I feel. I mean, it kind of fits with this very, very creative crane attachment. I do imagine that if you were to like load Sawdust, you'd utilize something like this. I wonder if we have like a crop stack we can place on the actual dock. Oh, my goodness. Well, it does a massive 01. So I guess that's technically right. We're kind of repurposing the harbor now, though. But it does look interesting. Where's the Where's the paper factory fire truck? You think we need a fire department dedicated to Oceanside? The forestry industry has sawdust storage piles. Do we have them as props? That is a good question. My immediate guess is no, but seeing as we found these log piles by searching for trailer, my honest answer is I don't know. But we're going to... okay, we're just gonna check the emergency service situation out here. We have... we've got the... oh wait, we need to... what is this? This has to be the Mersey Fire Department. Let's see, downtown headquarters. So I think coverage wise we're okay, but we do have cash to spend and we do have available land out here. And Yukon is suggesting that we invest in a fire garage with like a smaller one, with one garage with a fire truck and a pickup truck utility vehicle. I think I agree with that decision. We just kind of need a location. Maybe this location on top of the tunnel entrance, or would that be too spacey? We do also have some, we've got plenty of space here right next to the garbage center. But this is, I mean, that's a fire station with a good view, and it's not super centrally located in Oceanside, so I think I'd go for like a more central location. Let's see, if you place it here by this highway segment, you you have some pretty good access to the eastern parts of Oceanside, dominated by all the like the lumber yards, the ports, as well as the paper company, and you have direct access to the northern parts, which is the western parts, which is also going to be expanded in the future. Yukon says right next to the garbage center. We're gonna do that. This one is for you, so let's see. It's this one, right? No, the architecture doesn't fit. Maybe just the vanilla one. Oh, the US Southwest looks good one as well. Yukon, can you... which one should we use? I love this one, but I don't think the architecture fits the bill. I think I'm gonna go for the Southwest one. I could do a custom, but I'd hate to try and do that on stream. Like with the progress I've made so far, I'm gonna place like maybe a fire truck and a fence within the next hour. Find a small garbage asset and place a fire truck spawner. A garbage asset? What's a garbage asset? We could do like a small narrow industrial unit, something like this. Could you fit a fire truck in this, though? Let's just try this. Get this placed, and then we'll check if you could fit like a single emergency vehicle here. I think the US fire truck is kind of bulky, though. I mean, this one works, technically. I'm just gonna place it for reference, and then we are going to see if we can find something that fits the bill a little better. Buildings, garage. We of course have all the sub-buildings we can utilize, but they're slightly too big, I think. Park maintenance depot. Nah. Are these garages any bigger? Oh wait, that's the that is the European engine. I wouldn't be surprised if the US version is much more bulky. And it's actually lower. Let's just try this and see if it actually works, because I haven't used these... I mean, technically it shouldn't be parked out front, I know, but I haven't actually used these blocks yet for services. I don't think so. So we're going to try and see how this works. So I've got two of them, which is not confusing at all. Fire service block. A fire service block requires upgrades to provide... I'm gonna save before I place this. I'm getting nervous. Okay, so I'm gonna try and place that in here, I assume. Then we're going to... I can upgrade it with 3 fire engines. I guess if that's... Okay, I'm just gonna place the other version I have then and see if that's like a smaller capacity. Oh, I can't upgrade that at all. So I'm just going to try to... okay. I mean, that's pretty cool. Okay, so these are going to actually function. I know the parking situation here is out of whack and it wouldn't work. Don't focus on that. is all I can say right now. Just gonna give a bit more space. And let's see if we can just kind of splice this surface in. And I can select this. No, I can select this. I can select operating district, and we can dedicate this to Oceanside, so that it only serves this precinct. Don't know if that's the word, but I think that's fair. It's an industrial area, and if something burns here, you want to have the capacity to fix that. Shadow asks whether the parked fire truck messes with the pathing. I don't think so, but I think we can get rid of it because we do have plenty of parked fire trucks now. And I want to bring this back a little further. Oh, they're kind of... never mind. All you need to do is add a small parking lot to the side, put a red pickup truck to represent a utility vehicle, a fence around the whole thing, and yeah, that's it. True, I could even cover this one up within, I guess, the actual utility vehicle. Let's try that. I'm still gonna have it connected to this building for whatever reason. Maybe this is like a maintenance facility or something. Now, utility, is that like the actual name of the... No. But it has to be some kind of... Where do I actually find a small red pickup truck? Where are all the pickup trucks when you actually need them? Am I blind? I think I am. I am definitely blind. Oh man. Alright, so we're gonna cover up the service block and we do a red pickup truck. Alright, we're gonna grab this color scheme. There we go. Fence the whole thing off. Yeah. Yeah, let's just do that. Let's just fence it. I know technically one of the engines can't really back out currently due to the pickup truck location, but that's okay. Cool. OMG, a utility trailer prop attached to the pickup would look so cool. Okay, we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that. Let's see. Let's just get another segment in place, expand the parking lot or whatever we're calling this by now. And then we need... oh, yikes. Yeah, it was a trailer of some sort, right? What is the actual asset called? There it is. Whoops. right. A few fences and excessive decal spam. And we're gonna call this a build. Can't snap to this for whatever reason, so... Oh well. Yoink. Just get some on the surroundings, and we'll have like a separate texture for this part of the... like where the fire engines are, and then something for this part. I should be able to grab like one of the extra large thingies and just add that in. Yeah, it's not super well maintained. It's a pretty realistic US service provider, I guess. There you have it. Utility trailer, I saw it. I feel so blind. We got there in the end. All right, I'm pretty happy with that build. We're gonna save. We're gonna save. Let's see. Where were we? Oh yeah, we were discussing whether this entire build is feasible at all, or at least the narrative behind it. I think I might just kind of keep it as it is currently, and then maybe we can decide on Sawdust specialization or something later on. I don't think I should worry too much about the narrative purpose of this right now, because we got some detailing to do. I'm just gonna do a traffic checkup because I tend to forget these, and then I am oh so surprised when there's like a major gridlock someplace in the city and it's slowing down the economy and everything else. And I have the idea that you guys would enjoy a little break from the harbor as well, looking at some actual finished areas. So it seems like the major revamp we did of the infrastructure and like general traffic flow here at the port a couple of episodes ago actually worked, because I haven't seen any gridlocks down here yet. Even this complete mess, which at least does kind of direct traffic a little bit, actually works. So the port is looking all clear, and so is most of Massachusetts Route 28. It's actually a bit of a quiet day today, apparently. Now this is a nice view when you're driving eastbound. Oh, that looks nice. Someone say traffic. I need a few roundabouts in here, Biffa. That is such a nice angle. You can spot a fun trend if I'm uploading a video and I'm exposing myself here. But if I'm uploading a video and I don't feel very creative in terms of a thumbnail, I'm just gonna make the thumbnail for John and call it a day. Tony is asking, did you fix those no access path notifications yet? I am never going to be able to fix that, because I have too many, and it seems like I don't know if this is actually the case. I'm just it seems like there's like a bug with some assets, even some of the region pack assets, where if they upgrade to a new level, you'll actually have a no access notification, even though the actual building is still zoned at the very same place. I don't know if this is actually the case. I just kind of see these no access notifications sometimes pop up without it making any sense. This view reminds me of the 95 looking at Miami, except all the buildings and trees are northeast. Ibrahim, you can find most of the mods I use in the description. It should be pretty up to date. Yukon writes, the new Firehouse shall now be called the South Mersey Volunteer Fire Station. I don't think that's a bad idea. We are south of Mersey. Oops. Oh, I love this this focal length or this FOV of 75-ish. Just one of my favorites. And then just adjusting the colors a little bit, or rather the time of day. Late afternoon in this case. Let's just get this bad boy renamed. I'm gonna rename, if I can actually, oh, I don't think I can. Yes, I can rename this one. South Mersey, what was it? Oh no, the comment. Can I find it? Yes, I can. The South Mersey Volunteer Station. Volunteer Fire Station. I think I might have misspelled the name of the city here. That would be so... No, it is actually Mersey with an S-E-Y. But the park is funnily named Mersey Downs. So it's not confusing at all. Anyways, I'm gonna copy this name and we're just gonna... I'm gonna be a real nerd about this. We're gonna click this building. And it is still located at 167 Kent Lane, but... Oh, it actually... I mean, is this a good fit or what by the game? Requires timber, produces paper. That's pretty fitting for the location here, but... It is the South Mersey Volunteer Fire Station maintenance facility. Oh. Okay. It's a few too many. Maintenance facility. I didn't have to name that, but then when I revisit this sometime in the future and I kind of click on it and I see this, it's gonna make me all happy and warm inside. So I like to rename things. Anyways, I was doing a traffic fix-up, or rather check-up. I have to do these once in a while just to check if everything is looking all right. Seems like Cape Rose is all right, but then again, everyone has moved out due to pollution, so it would make sense for less traffic out here. This intersection here leading to Chowder Bay used to be a problem, but it's not anymore. I think it kind of fixed itself. It was after I built Riverview Heights, so this massive public housing project, I just saw like a huge influx of traffic, but kind of fixed itself, yeah. This mess is looking all right. We're moving north on Route 28. Looking perfectly fine as well. The over-engineered bridge, looking clear as ever. And then we're rounding up with the rural landscape out here in Cape Autumn, and that's looking fine as well. I didn't expect anything else. It's not usually super trafficked. And Westpoint is doing fine as well. And no notifications either, so that's perfect. I'm gonna find some traffic to look at and read a bit of the chat. Lock levels so they won't upgrade. Oh yeah, I made a massive mistake when I built the row houses in an episode a while ago. I had locked the level up in Plop.Dog Rowables, but then I had a crash and the mod settings reset. So I started plopping a bunch of additional, row houses, not warehouses, for the episode, and they would level up. And the issue with the level ups of the row houses from the Northeast US region pack is not the designs. They look fantastic. All the assets look great. It's that they changed the main building material from wood to stone. Just gonna show it. Yeah, you can kind of see it out here. So when I plop down this area, we are in West Thornton. This is supposed to be a working class area with some more humble, I guess you could say, row houses made primarily of timber, like you would see in working class districts in Boston's inner city areas. But now, after they've leveled up, some of them are of timber, but some of them look like they could fit in like on the upper west side of Manhattan, which was not the intention. The intention was for all of it to kind of look like these buildings here. So that's a bit of a bummer. Make sure you disable the leveling up of your ploppable buildings if you want that, of course. But yeah, I need to redo this at one point in time, but it's not high on the priority list, I'd say, currently. But it does annoy me a little bit. Can we have a look at night? Yes, we can. That's a pretty nice view here from just above the observation tower. I can use move it to fix the no access. That's true. That's true. I need to just revisit all the no access plots throughout the city. But interestingly, there doesn't really seem to be a consequence of the residents of the building not having access to it. They still live there and they go to work, I assume. I don't know. I don't know anything about the simulation. I'm just talking. Have they fixed the economy simulation? My gut feeling says no, but it's a lot better than on launch. The game is just a lot better. And I think the economy situation or simulation it's engaging enough for me to have fun with it. There's definitely some aspects I don't understand. I don't understand the logic behind it. But I think like the basics are starting to be pretty cool and fun. And if you're looking for, sorry, I'm gonna give you all a flash here. But if you're looking for a bit of an extra challenge in terms of the economy, something I did recently, which was slightly controversial, I know from comments, was that I increased the tile upkeep multiplier to 200% with the 529 tiles mod. So this basically makes every tile you purchase twice as expensive in upkeep, and this has just hammered my surplus. It almost bankrupted the city, which was a little stressful, but it was also super fun. Super fun to make content with and just play with. We're in a better place now, but generally I can actually showcase the difference. So we were 14,000 in the green. If I change this to the vanilla value, we are 175,000 in the green. So I would have to I'd have to try really hard to bankrupt the city now and create like an economic challenge. It would be an odd, weird thing, but with the tile upkeep bumped up, I actually had quite a bit of a challenge recently. Yeah, but maybe I'm just a masochist. I'm not sure why I did it, but it was fun. And I'm gonna keep the tile upkeep at 200 for I think most of the cities I'm building, because I do actually want some sort of challenge, or at least I want the economy to help drive my creativity and what we are building and the decisions we take. Dudu, is there anywhere you would like to build a highway? I'd like to take a fat, juicy downtown that is culturally and financially thriving, and then run an 8-lane highway through it. Sometime in my life, I've yet to try that, but that's an experience I don't want to die without. Infra, I don't think I've said it, but you're the first Tier 2 YouTuber that likes making emergency stuff, and it makes me happy that you're one of the content creators for the game. Oh, I'm happy to hear that. I tried to build a bit of everything, and I don't know what actually happened when I transitioned from City Skylines 1 to City Skylines 2, because in City Skylines 1 I did not care for the simulation one bit, and I used a ton of mods to basically allow me to not care about it at all. I could just ignore it because I found it so shallow and boring. And then for whatever reason, when I got early access to Cities 2 and started playing it, then despite the many flaws and issues in the simulation and me not understanding half of it, I just found it more fun. I just assigning emergency services and other service providers and using using them to cover specific districts and kind of manage that. I don't know. I think it's actually pretty fun in this game. So I think the future is bright. I think they can really take this game to a pretty special place, with enough time, of course, but also enough resources. Could we see public transport map? I mean, I would be kind of exposing myself. Oh, should we do a public transit run through? You guys, are you sure about this? It's not pretty. And I've done budget cuts here recently. Tony asks, in the last East Haven video, you unlocked an arena. Where can I get that? Was it part of a content creator pack? No, there's a DLC. It's a paid for DLC called... Or it's a good thing I'm not sponsored, otherwise this would be embarrassing. I think it's called Leisure Venues. Oh wait, I can Leisure Venues, yes. And it is worth it's not a Beach Properties 2.0. This DLC is worth every penny. Because as you guys can see, it adds a ton of signature buildings, and as the name implies, well, leisure venues, they are like They have leisure restaurants, recreational spaces. There's like museums. There's a beautiful. There's an oceanium, like an aquarium, whatever you call it. There's this is the Shard Arena. This is an esports arena, no less, which is like a super cool asset. So that DLC is worth every penny, especially since we don't really have the ability to create these signature buildings on our own. There's the Nitro Kingdom, which is like a karting area. I don't have that unlocked. There's all. Wait a minute, I have some cool ones we can show. So there's by the stadium here. I love this stadium. I'm so happy how this turned out. Anyways, by the Jill and Eats University Stadium, we've got a... what? We've got 2 crime-ridden restaurants. I don't know if you want to go here. Let's just bring the UI down. But we've got these 2 facilities, and they're from the leisure venues pack. Maybe this one as well. The Gusto Gelato. So no crime at the ice cream place, but you don't want to go into the lobster tail. So yeah, that pack is all worth it. Do you plan on finishing Bergtal? I'm not sure I can. I actually tried to test out Bergtal for this stream, and I'm just unable to load it. And it's not like it even goes past the loading screen. It just crashes as soon as I try to load the save. So maybe at some point, but I think I should probably just do an actual proper large-scale European build. Because one issue with Bergtal and all the cities I built with the region packs, which is really unfortunate, is that I hit unlock... no, sorry. I didn't just unlock everything when I started the game. I also put a little checkbox in unlimited money, and my advice would be that you never ever do that. Because if you unlock everything, you're gonna start the game with like 6 million credits, and if you ever need unlimited money, you can always enable that later on in the save game, but you can never disable it. So Bergtal, as well as the Japanese themed city I built, I don't want to build a city with infinite money. Unfortunately, that just kind of takes a bit of the immersion out of it for me, unfortunately. Yes, Shadow, Infra is stalling to avoid exposing his public transit. Okay, we're gonna do it. I don't even have a disclaimer or a caveat to add. I just... yeah, we're gonna do a public transit run through. Yeah, we have people using taxis. That is not to my credit. We have 5 bus lines. Yes, this city with extremely challenging terrain, lots of water, bridges, traffic choke points, crazy islands and geographical features, has 5 bus lines. And 2 of them are named Bus Line 4 and 5. I guess you can, now you can't really see what they cover, but you can kind of see it from the name. I don't want to cover the bus lines. They're embarrassing. Now the train network, I think, is a little better off. We have the MBTA East Haven line, which moves all the way north to Boston. And then I think it stops in Fort John by the main transit hub. Might have an additional stop as well, but I think that's actually just it. It has an additional stop. I can see where we've got Boston, train station. Oh, it stops in the city of Chowder Bay before it continues to Fort John. All right, my bad. And then we have the X1, which is like just a continuous... Oh, wait. Trains. These are super self-explanatory. They have super low usage, which is a bit of a shame, because they do travel between like high population places. And then I have the airport hopper, which is pretty cool. It's made with your input as well. And it basically just moves from the train station here in downtown Mersey and then out to the airport and back. Something I like about this one is that it's actually it's technically a light rail system. At least we're utilizing a light rail or a tram vehicle for it. It's the small yellow thingy you can see there. So this will go to the airport, which you can kind of see in the distance. And this other one should travel underneath the tunnel and go to Fort John, which you can see there in the distance as well. But I think this one worked out pretty well. And I think I shouldn't put too much care into how high the actual usage of the transit lines are, because yeah, I'm no transit engineer. And it would be boring to have no transit. All right, next one. We've got a single tram line as well. Yes, but we'll have more in the future. So we have the Bay Road Historic Connector, and let's see if we can find it. And it's the purple line here, so it's very easy to see, at least. And as the name implies, this is basically just the it's an old historic tram line, because Fort John and Mersey, like many other US cities, used to have a massive, extensive tram or streetcar network. And today, USA could be an absolute pioneer in this field, but it's obviously not. It's anything but that. But there used to be a ton of streetcar lines in the US, and that was the case here as well. And recently, the politicians or the city council here in Fort John decided to recreate or restart one of the older lines. It's a bit touristy currently, because it travels the waterfront, the Back Bay and Johns Bay area, so it's kind of gimmicky. It doesn't move a ton of people, but it's free to use, so I guess it's kind of, I mean, it's not supposed to be super efficient. It's a token tram line. Yeah, that's what it is. You'll see this in other US cities. Like, streetcar lines are all the rage currently, even if they see no use. There's this urban planning theory that if you build a streetcar station, then magically you're gonna have insane demand. I'm being a little dramatic here, but there is a tendency to like squeeze in streetcars even in places where they might not make the most sense. I'm sorry if I've got some streetcar fanatics here, but that is actually the truth. I'm just checking the chat. But that is the transit overview. Yes, that took 5 minutes in a city of this size. I need to fix it, and I'll need your input, definitely. Falk asks if I can show my Lumina settings. We can just do a quick little rerun. So I don't use a custom cube map, because that just messes with the colors too much. And I just move these without really knowing what I'm doing. I'm not saying this to be humble or anything. That's literally my process, but this is how it looks currently. So I'm just gonna let the camera stay there for a moment. I think one comment to add to the visual settings here is that I'm not super content with them. I think I have reduced the impact of shadows because it feels too contrasty otherwise, but it also feels a little washed out now. I think if you watch $2.20's recent like 5 or 10 videos, I think the color scheme that he has managed to achieve is a lot nicer. It's a lot more crisp. So I'd actually look towards him for like, but it's all subjective. So if you like these color settings the most, then do go ahead and copy them. But I do change it up a bit currently because I'm trying to copy $2.20. Looks like Mr. Gusto Gelato extorts his neighbors. That's an interesting theory, David. You think some of the other restaurants might wake up with like a horse head in front of their door or something? Fishing industry needed desperately. That could be so cool, Tony. I mean, I just want more. I want more City Skylines 2 content. I do care what type of content, of course, but I just want more. I'm really looking forward to the next DLC. I'm happy they decided to postpone it. I know people were up in arms and super mad, and it's so ironic since we desperately want more content, but I don't want half-baked content. I'd rather just wait and get the maximum out of what we have currently, and then I'm all ready for like some proper content. And you know, Paradox business model is paid DLC, and I don't usually mind because they tend to be of pretty high quality, and the base game do tend to get into a good position after a lot of free updates. I just want the DLC to be good. I'm trying to catch up with comments here. Caleb is asking about metros. What about small circle metro on each island? Takes you around the island and you can have a stop by a train or bus or transfer. So I think I have 60 comments in the Riverview series asking me for, or begging me for a metro. And someone even speculated like a small conspiracy theory that I have something against metros. And they're actually right. In the context of City Skylines, I don't like metros, and the only reason I dislike them is that they hide activity, and I don't want them. I don't want that. I want, as you can probably see on the screen currently, there would be some of the cars we're currently seeing right here traversing the bridge between Chowder Bay and Fort John that wouldn't be here with a metro. And you might think, that's the point of efficient public transit, and you're completely right, but I wouldn't like the visuals, you know? And I like to battle traffic. I like the fact that if I don't pay attention, there's gonna be a traffic hiccup, there's gonna be a gridlock. So that's why I dislike metros, even though they are, not even though, I dislike them because they are super efficient people movers. We ain't gonna use no metro here, it's all gonna be personal vehicles. Oh, no. I'm gonna... Oh, it's good I brought up the UI. I'm just yapping here while... Oh my... Like, this is a déjà vu from the other day. Okay. I'm just gonna pause the game for a second. I'm gonna read a bit more chat, and we're just gonna let this sink in. This is the most live stream thing ever. How about overground metro like New York and Chicago? Now that would be super cool. I did consider that for Riverview. And I might do that, not in Riverview though, probably here in East Haven or in another large scale city. That would be cool. I think I would have to be careful about redundancy. because it's a separate network from regular train tracks, and I do love having, I mean, you can probably tell by all the builds I do, I love train tracks and train stations and having a lot of rail activity in my cities and having a ton of freight rail as well, because it requires attention and you're gonna mess it up if you don't create the right space and all that, and I mess up all the time, and it creates fun content. So it's something to be aware of, but an overground metro could be a cool idea. This does not look good. No. Player guy plays writes, metro is an emergency measure. New York City has metro because there is nowhere else to move people. Yeah, I sort of agree. At least in terms of realism, the biggest city I've ever created is Riverview, and it's 175,000 people. I know it's a game, I know we're role-playing, but realistically, you'd not even 10 times that population is going to justify a metro, at least in the US. We're looking at like a metropolitan area of what, 3-4 million people maybe, in like a super dense area. Maybe that's justifiable. And I'm not saying that I would need 4 million people in a City Skylines 2 city to build a metro, but maybe a tenth of that, like 400k, would make sense. I don't think 175k and certainly not 120k is gonna justify it. Water and sewage worker strike. I think I am just going to... I'm just gonna go to the bathroom real quick, because then I can sit in peace and conjure how to fix this. I'm just gonna take a leak. It's gonna be a minute, don't worry. So we have the cool stream overlay. I can actually try this out now. You guys ready? Boom. Now the game is gonna be paused, and I ask you all, if a new viewer comes in here and asks why it's paused, please lie to them. Tell them it's just to enjoy the scenery without movement. Don't out me. Don't tell them it's because the city is drowning in sewage water. I'll be right back. All right. Oh, this is such a mess. Might as well get it all out there. I am going to remove the overlay. All I heard is taxpayer money going down the drain. Is that a reference to my toilet break? Alright, game paused. Let's see what's up. Hopefully it's just a capacity issue. But it would surprise me. We haven't added all that much. Although the population has actually grown by like 2,000 or something during the stream. So maybe that's just it. No, that's not it. So water availability. Oh, well, I'm missing 60,000. That's quite a bit. Sewage is completely out of whack. Processing 232k, but I need to process. Oh, no, I should frame that differently. We're producing 397,000. What is that? Cubic meters of poop? Okay, so I'm assuming we've got a trash issue somewhere. I mean, there's literally a garbage logistics center across the road. I need the music to calm myself. What? All right, okay, but so I guess in the defense of this logistics center, there is no defense. 0 vehicles in use. Why is there 0 garbage vehicles in use when there's like a literal garbage pileup across the street? Come on. Hello, Bassam. Welcome on board. Delete and rebuild. I might just do that. That's like a garbage center might be. It is full. I'm an idiot. I'm complaining like the game doesn't work. In reality, I don't work. It is full. And it's trying. It's really trying. So I have to think now. It's not my favorite action. Maybe we need an expansion here. So storage extension is not necessary. But we probably need to be able to barbecue this poop. Poop? What? This garbage. Garbage. At a higher rate. It is 500k for this extra incinerator furnace. They know what to actually take for this, huh? All right, so I guess this is a step in the right direction, but I need like an immediate fix because just look at how my economy is tanking. It makes sense. There's no drinking water availability, so I'm not complaining. I'm just a little annoyed. Now someone suggested just rebuilding this, which might be our course of action here. It just feels kind of gamey. I would rather just have it actually be emptied into an incinerator plant, but that's going to take a while, and it's not gonna fix our issues currently. So maybe I wonder if we should have like a backup water waste management site. We can turn it off. We have to pay a small upkeep as long as it's not active, of course, but it's not going to be as expensive as having it having it running. Okay, so that's the wastewater management. I think we can fix that by just placing an additional water treatment plant, and then we can disable that when it has when this garbage pileup has cleared. I think we have the money to actually do that. Okay, so the other issue is so you don't have any available water, but the water you do have available is use your own backed up sewage water. This is disgusting. We've got a water facility here that's overloaded, but that's not having any issues. Oh, that's interesting. This one is overloaded without having any efficiency issues. Where the tower here, no issues either. Maybe this is because... is this because the water treatment plant actually pumps out some treated water back into the treated water is then pumped back into the water network? Can I see how much water output? 116,000. Okay. So I think this might just be the one issue to fix, and that's it. And I think, okay, so we're gonna build a new water treatment plant. It's a little expensive, but we can turn it off. We can downscale when this issue is fixed. And because I just sat here rambled, I need to fix this now. So let's build that here in Oceanside, since we're already working on this area. We're gonna grab the vanilla one, I think. 400,000. Oh, yikes, that's expensive. I should probably be like slightly isolated in terms of like potential, I don't know, the smell. Wolf suggests placing a backup garbage sensor would be more likely. I agree, that would be a good approach as well. I just that wouldn't fix the issue right now, right? Because I need to force garbage trucks to actually fix to prioritize the water treatment plant. Okay, so it's gonna be a vote. Either we place a backup water treatment plant, which we can turn off in the future when this situation has been alleviated, because hopefully the upgrade we just built at the Nugget Island incineration plant is going to speed up its processing speed and is going to allow this logistics sensor to actually get rid of all this junk. And then they're gonna fix this up. So that's plan A. Or plan B, we could just demolish this thingy and just rebuild it. Like, build a new garbage logistics center and then make sure it prioritizes the treatment plant, and then things might go back to normal or might not become an issue. It's gonna be a vote. If I can... Oh, I have to close the existing poll. I'm such a streaming rookie. I'm sorry if you've all voted for the poll in like the most recent 2 hours. We've already built something based on the decision. Okay, so new treatment plant. No, wait, I can I can change these. Water treatment plants. Rebuild garbage facility. Big decision. Muy importante. I am going to judge your financial prowess based on this, chat. So Ryan is asking whether I enjoy playing like this. Yeah, I actually do. I do. I think I do a bit of both, mind you. Like sometimes I just build stuff and not think. I think about it, and I completely understand, like just treating a City Skylines 2 as like a city painter, basically. That is how I played City Skylines 1 exclusively. But I'm honestly enjoying this approach as well. It looks like the water treatment plant is winning out, but it's close. It's close, so it's definitely not a bad suggestion. I think it was you, Wolf, that made it. And I think in terms of like in terms of the game, like if you want to win at the game and just city paint, you would just replace this damn garbage sensor and call it a day. So I totally get that that approach. But it is going to be, I think it's going to be a new water treatment plant. QC just plunging in here with a $20 donation, big water. Thank you so much for the support. I'm going to accuse you of city council lobbying. And look at Mr. Ontario and Elko, city council members being bought out. They are being bought and paid for by QC outright. I guess the water treatment plant won. Because now I can afford a new summer residence. Oh, this is too funny. That's what a win. Alright, so without caring for any sort of lobbyism or political influences, we're just randomly going to build a water treatment plant. Now I think this location might be pretty nice. It's isolated by the tracks. We'll need to bring in some roads, of course, but yeah, I think this is it's as good as any location really, and it's going to fit the bill. It's gonna fit the bill in terms of like the aesthetics to just have this placed. Yeah, it's the wind chain. Big water has won over big oil. Oh, that is funny. And we'll get this connected up. Okay, so I need a crossing somewhere. So this might be a stupid, this might be a downright dumb question. I like trains, but I'm not a train person. A crossing isn't necessarily a problem if it's not used very frequently, right? Right? Like you want to avoid having too many crossings at busy locations too close, because it's going to disrupt traffic excessively. But you don't, I mean, it's not a problem out here, is it? There's gonna be a few people commuting to work at the water treatment plant, a maintenance vehicle. Right. Sure, right. Okay, I'm getting the rights in the chat. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling confident now. Build it. I'm feeling good now, guys. Oh. Right. Great. Send it. Send it up the inside. All right. And we've got plenty of space for future upgrades. We're not gonna do that though, because this was mighty expensive. Like, the game feels a little different when you're in a situation where whenever we have to do some public upgrades, like we just added one additional like incinerator plant upgrade and a water treatment plant, and I feel like we've lost $1 million or 800k at least. I think this is connected. So I'm crossing fingers now. If this doesn't work, then if I were recording this, I could edit it out or make myself look stupid. It's a 50-50 on what I usually do. But this is live, and I created this issue live. So I've hit play. I was just getting nervous about the missing clean water notifications, but I assume that's because it just had to kind of pick up in terms of the water output. The money situation is really bad though. So I'm assuming we just have to wait a little while and then things are gonna balance out. I really hope that the missing water situation and all the poop water is what actually caused this deficit, because if it isn't, I have a... oh my goodness, this is bad. Let me just... okay, so we're gonna do the switcheroo. As long as this guy is full of garbage, I'm gonna try and disable it, because hopefully it's still gonna have garbage pickups. I hope I still have capacity at the new plant or the new facility, but that's because it hasn't updated that I'm not paying for this anymore. I'm paying like a tiny upkeep. Wow, this is really bad. I'm gonna save this separately, just in case. Let's see, time to read chat. All right, we're gonna end the poll for water because QC kind of strongmanned it through the city council by buying up the other members. I can respect that. That's a politician with ambition should make it big in America. You've got the right mindset. Hell, you'd make it big in Denmark as well. Tony writes, just wait till they don't pick up the trash there. I mean, I'm gonna be so furious if that is the case, because we just literally invested in a Mersey garbage center, which is oh, it's already at 40 ton. Okay, so I'm definitely having some issues actually offloading all the garbage that's being produced throughout. I wonder... okay, so here's a theory. If you notice, please let me know. But I wonder if the fact that I am restricting some of my my garbage management facilities to certain districts actually results in the trucks not being able to drive to the Nugget Island incineration plant and actually dispose of the waste here. Does anyone know if that's actually the case? Just include the plant as one of its areas. That's actually a great idea. I mean, if anything, it might give us some insight into whether that's actually the case. Click on the dump truck in the international plant and follow it. I mean... can I select all vehicles? There's only one vehicle collecting here, which is slightly odd because we have a garbage situation in Imperial Heights, and I'm pretty sure you have to collect from Imperial Heights. You do. So I'm not really sure what's going on here. Maybe there's like an issue with this actual facility because this is actually a custom, quote-unquote custom asset. It is this slimmed down version of this small recycling center. I'm gonna try this. It's an expensive mistake if it's a mistake, but let's just try this. Is this upgradable? No. Okay, so 5 trucks for the entire area. Oh well, we're just gonna... I mean, it's better than 1. Let's get all of this selected and make sure they can theoretically also travel to Nugget Island. The incinerator plant, yeah, it does send out its own trucks, but I'm also pretty sure that other logistics centers, they're dependent on being able to either export the garbage. No, wait, they can't do that. They're dependent on being able to deliver it at an incineration plant or what's it called? A trash yard, a dump site. I could have that as well. It's just super ugly. So I assume that Nugget Island incineration plant will actually burn off waste that isn't just collected by its 51 trucks. But I'm having doubts now. At least this fella is now sending out 6 vehicles so far, so that's looking... Okay, the dump truck transporting, yes! Someone in the comments told me to click on the dump truck, and it is actually working. It's not carrying any cargo though. But I assume that in the future it will. Now it is going to the biogas power generator, which is this facility here on the port of Fort John, which does have some processing and storage capacity. So let's just assume that as this starts... Okay, it also has 500 tons garbage capacity, while I think the less expensive version, this one has 50. That's not a lot. Maybe we should delete this one and add the other one. Money situation in the pot. We're in the green. Oh my goodness. Savor this moment. Feels good. I'm a financial genius. So yeah, this one should really this one should come down to the city council. Do we demolish this logistics center, which does have more vehicles, but it doesn't seem like it's actually working, and then upgrade it to the proper logistics center, which has 10 times the storage? We're gonna do that, right? I mean, new logistics center, yes, no. And this has to be one-sided, otherwise you guys are trolling. There's always the one guy. Oh, wait, what's going on now? Oh my, look! It's actually happening. We've got a dump truck carrying 20 tons and another one carrying 20 going to the... What? This... Oh, come on! No! Okay, we definitely need to demolish this place now, because the people working here, they're trying to screw us over. So instead of bringing the stored garbage to the incineration plant, which is right there, they're just going to drive it to the other logistics center. You can't make this up. Look. Destination. Mersey City. No, okay, it does actually process. Sheeball, sure, right. It's not... It could be worse. It does process garbage. But I would greatly appreciate if they had taken another place for this. we're gonna end the vote here, and we're gonna get rid of this building. It is this garbage management facility. I am questioning their management approach. This is just wonky. It's the comeback of the mob. Oh my god, that is such a good storyline. Yeah, this garbage logistics center, it has been compromised by Tony Soprano, who is a waste management consultant. I think this is illegal. Yeah. Yeah, me too. Now I don't think someone mentioned it being because of the district situation. I don't think that's the case, because we did see the dump truck of this small recycling facility going to this generator, even though the district restriction does not technically, it doesn't allow vehicles to go to the port. Okay. So Ethan is begging, please, I want to know, click on the S icon by the delete button of the facility to see where the trucks are going. That's a good idea. They are going nowhere. Yeah. This is a good... no, I need to do one final checkup. I'm gonna copy the name here for narrative purposes, and then I need to see just how many areas, or I need to gain an overview of the district we have to serve. Wow. Oh yeah, that's right. So I'm doing a $1 million investment in oil refineries, and I don't pick up the trash here. I don't pick up inflammable trash at my oil refineries. Anyways, Chowder Bay and Cape Rose. So we're grabbing the proper one, which is, oh yeah, that's a slightly larger asset. So we're just gonna see if we can squeeze it a bit further in here. I like this little hillside and the antenna tower. Would hate to see it go. Operating districts, Forge Point and refineries. Embarrassing stuff this is. And all of Chowder Bay as well. This is a Nas Hill, so shout out to the first person who gets that reference. And I guess the park we can leave. All right, I'm just going to let the simulation play for a second or two, and we'll see how this pans out. And then I'm gonna go grab a drink. I was just about to brag that things are looking mighty fine, and then we see this. Wow, this is a... This car is on fire. At the bottom of the ocean. It's because it's a V8 muscle car. There's so much gasoline here that it's just gonna burn no matter what. Oh man. And like this really showcases the consequence of building or playing on an archipelago, but it's also what makes it so much fun. You're just gonna have some real bottlenecks when things mess up. Like, what other route are these people going to take? Like, it's just not feasible to go anywhere if you want to get to Fort John from Chowder Bay or the other way around. So this is gonna be a mess, and I'm pretty sure I'm using the no despawning mod. I think so. So fortunately we had a firefighting helicopter stopping this fire, and then I'm curious to see what the helicopter is gonna do about the car here. Oh, yeah, okay. It dumped some water on the ocean. I guess technically you could have some gasoline like on the surface here actually burning. Technically. We need the actually meme here. Alright, so this is gonna be pretty bad until this is cleared. How long is this queue actually going to be though? There's just something cinematic almost about traffic and queues. So let's just make it slightly more cinematic. Maybe it's early in the morning. That's really going to stress these people out. And I'm not gonna make a point for public transit. I'm not gonna make a point for public transit. But I'm just gonna hit play now. And you'll see something. There's gonna be angry people here, and there's gonna be careless people reaching their Fort John destination without a sweat by train. Okay, so there's a bit of clearance here. But is this so this garbage truck is also crashed, and these two, and can we just, I know we like to kind of diss the game at times, but the fact that they actually took the time to kind of code this in, the vehicles are actually like making their way sort of realistically through this mess. Technically you could probably go straight here, but can you imagine this in City Skylines 1? Like, imagine the hot dog van making an actual turn to avoid a crashed vehicle. I can't. This is so cool. Look at the log truck. Yeah, that's... there's like a bad omen here. I tried to build some log industry. Turned out pretty oh! It did despawn. I guess that should happen after some time, right? We don't have like animations for a crane removing it. But let's just look at this traffic. That is such a cool look. We're just gonna see this in motion. And maybe look at chat then. Hi, I've been watching your videos since you started the East Haven County series. I think I heard in one of your videos that you're from Denmark, if I'm remembering right. What area do you live in? Jeg fra Nordjylland, Anton. More waste management consultants needed. Yeah, smells like Tony handiwork. Now, someone actually got the Nasil reference. I am pretty certain someone wrote Queensbridge, and I will take that. That's a great way to reference a reference. So it seems like the current traffic situation, I'd love to do like a news reporter type thing, is that the queue in the eastbound direction here by Massachusetts Route 28 is, I mean, it's clearing up. Oh, this looks so cool. I feel like turning up the music a bit when we're looking at this. If I can find something fitting. No. Oh, we've got the news reporter now. Traffic on the Mass Bridge today slow. So, oh, wait. Sentence cut. We're gonna try that again. Traffic on the Mass Bridge today slow going due to a wreck earlier. Expect delays with travel plans, folks. Messed up the second part. I'm sorry, Wolf. Now, this is why I don't personally build underground metro systems in my cities. I could still have some of this, but it wouldn't be exactly like this. Oh, let's grab the drone camera in the westbound direction leading into Fort John. And we're gonna switch time of day from late afternoon to early morning commute. Early-ish morning. It's 9 to 5, right? If there's one comment to summarize today's roller coaster, it's from Emmanuel. I left when budget was minus 150k to eat dinner. How is it now? I actually don't know because we're just watching cinematic stuff now. I think we're in the positive. We fixed some things. Not Shiloh asks, what's planned for that strip of land near the Marina and the old port in Fort John? Near the oh, you mean this segment here? I'm not quite decided yet. I was considering kind of continuing the type of urban development, like the style we're seeing here. So this is the Back Bay neighborhood. And I kind of like this because, I mean, it's very colorful and it's really, it's like a cool hipster area. Like you can come here and buy an expensive coffee or like an expensive burger made by a beard with a big, a dude with a big beard and some tattooed forearms, and it's gonna be expensive. I don't know if you can actually live here I mean, the rent is probably, but you know, there's like graffiti and murals, so it's just certifiably cool. But I like that type of development here because this Back Bay area used to be a working class, low income area. It used to house fishermen, basically, because they had their fisher boats in here, secluded from the open waters, basically. Now it is, as I insinuated, quite expensive, quite hip. So I was considering actually taking this type of density and just kind of moving that in here as well, because I wouldn't mind for this to be like the sort of finalized version of the Fort John skyline, and then just continue the low to medium density development here, if you catch my drift. So probably something like this, like a continuation of this sort of development. And this one was really fun as well, because it's just a weird mixture of all kinds of different buildings, and we've got like some of the Southwest themed apartment buildings or stuff kind of spliced in here, and I think it works. So something like that. I don't know what to build over here though. It's very, very hilly, and there's been plenty of suggestions to mimic the underground construction project they did in Boston a couple of decades ago. I'm not gonna say the name of that project because it's gonna sound wrong. It's gonna sound like I'm saying something else entirely. But basically, they took a stretch of highway that ran through central Boston, and they dug it underground. Mighty expensive, but also a really cool project. We could maybe do that with like a part of this segment, but once again, I kind of like the intrusiveness of the highway, just moving through this area and kind of restricting the space as well, and forcing us to take its importance into consideration when we build things, because as we just saw, there's currently no traffic. As you guys can see, there's no, like, this is not rush hour, but as soon as we have a crash alongside Massachusetts Route 28, it gets super busy. Like, you can see the back end of the queue from earlier. It's like 10 minutes. It's been 10 minutes now. It's not even... Okay, there's some weird traffic AI at play, I get that, but I'm just saying, this thing gets super busy if it's blocked. The biggest debacle, yes, indeed. Guys and gals, and everything in between, I think I need to wrap up now. It's goodness, it's 20 past 8 o'clock in the evening here. I told I was planning to stream for an hour and get the volume controls in a good spot with your feedback, and here we are. And we have fixed some issues today. We have gained 3,000 new population, not because I worked hard for it. We haven't built any housing, but we have fixed some alluring disasters in terms of the like garbage management and water stuff. And I mean, technically, we have added this new area, but I do apologize for the lack of progress during this stream. I wanted to interact with the chat, right? It's been so much fun. So much fun. Thank you guys so much for... I could not have wished for a more warm welcome to streaming. Really, it's been a ton of fun. My throat is aching now. Yeah, it's gonna surprise you guys if you watch my content. You'd think I could ramble on forever with the droning voice of mine, but I'm completely wrecked now. But it's been so much fun, and oh my god, there's almost 500 people in here. That is insane. That's incredible. And I think I'm gonna do some more streaming, and we might do some East Haven streams. We might start a new city entirely on a cool map, and then I'll make sure to. My idea was to do like really frequent votes. So when we've like wrapped up an area, or we need to make a financial decision, just like we've done today, we're gonna have a vote so that you guys essentially, like, I might try to lobby, like manipulate you into a certain direction, you know. I might, but I think I'll let you guys decide the direction we're taking things, and it could be fun to just have a streaming only city, basically. So we start from scratch and we kind of document every step we take along the way. So I might do that. I might stream some Santa Isabel as well. I know some of you have asked about the California themed project. That is still ongoing, don't worry. I'm just I'm tunnel visioning East Haven currently because it's just a ton of fun, and I've hopefully I'm gaining some skills in terms of providing cool content that's also just gonna make Santa Isabel even better. So many ideas, but thank you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate all of you. Thank you guys for, yeah, I'm blushing. It's overwhelming, so I'm gonna stop now before it gets too feely in here. But thank you so much. I'm gonna go grab some dinner, or maybe beg my wife to conjure some dinner for me. I'm gonna tell her I got a donation today. Actually, I think I got quite a few. Maybe that's motivation. Goodbye, everyone.